We're going to get started.
Really?
Yeah, because it's 9 o'clock.
Feels vacant.
Yes, a little quiet. Anyway, before we get started, there's a fire exit right there. You can also go out this way. I used to be a volunteer fireman, so I'm aware of this stuff. Right there, out there, this way. Smoking is fine out on the property. We ask you not to smoke in the building, but you're welcome to step out.
How about what they smoke?
Don't care.
Can they vape?
You're the one wearing the hippie shirt.
Can they vape?
They can vape.
Okay.
Yes. You have to be Vapist to vape. Can I finish? Thank you. Let's see. Now I've lost my train of thought. Please don't take Sammy out with you. She'll follow anybody anywhere. Samantha Jane, the golden retriever. Let's see. Oh, if you want to use the restrooms, they're right there. I won't be offended if you get up and walk out. Jeff gets terribly offended, but so you've only got a 50-50 chance.
Well, they walk out right across the camera.
That's okay. We've got
to edit them out.
We've got 7 hours of you on camera today, or whatever it comes out to be. There's water in the kitchen, bottled water. There's ice in the refrigerator, in the freezer section of the refrigerator. We will be breaking for lunch. It's all the ice cream you can eat. And the most important thing is, please ask questions. This is where people learn. And don't hold off a question until I stop talking, because I never take a breath. Just put your hand up and I'll nod to you. We'll get to you as fast as we can, because your question is the same one that everybody else is thinking. Why is Jeff dressed that way? And the other, it's a pertinent question. And so, please put your hand up and ask questions anytime. Yes?
What are those?
We had a going away party for Connie.
When are those going away?
This afternoon after the class, we're having a turkey shoot. Mike and I are pulling out the long guns.
That's the prize.
No,
right?
We're pulling out the long guns. We're going to shoot them down. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Ridiculous.
You can't shoot a gun at the airport, but nobody said we couldn't do it in the building.
Question, who made them?
Crystal. She unfolded them, which was... Can we get on to serious work?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see, I think that's about everything. Oh, those of you who took Jeff's class, I understand, my grandfather, my other grandfather, Stephen Ulsifer, do they want to hear about false teeth? I guess not. Anyway, he was working on a project at the same time a man in Sweden was. And so he always said that if you think you've got a great invention, someone else is working on it at the exact same time. And you guys who took Jeff, right? Jeff's class, yesterday, we're going to work with Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And then you decided that it wasn't good, and I've never made it either. And one of my customers called up and said, hey, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is great. So we're going to start off with Cinnamon Toast Crunch and see how it works. And we'll see if it's any good. I think my way will work, but if you've watched the videos, you'll see that we have some more chairs over there if you need to unfold them and put them anywhere you like.
Morning. Marilyn.
Yeah, good morning.
Hurry up. I told you 9 o'clock.
I tend to experiment with things, which sometimes has disastrous effects, but I think that's part of an ice cream parlor or any business, ices, dairy-free, anything. You want to experiment and try new things. It doesn't mean you're going to put them into your repertoire. So what Jeff makes today is already guaranteed to be fantastic.
No, I've never made it.
No, well, I mean the other products you're going to make today.
Never made them.
You got to catch up. If you haven't made them yet because you're here and you're going to make them today.
No. These are new to me.
Oh, they are?
Yes.
Okay.
New to me.
Well, with your track record...
I use the class for experimenting, too.
With your track record, they're probably going to be good.
Well, they will be good.
Mine are going to be interesting.
Well, you know what Sunday is? This Sunday?
Yes. What?
The opening of Sharknado 6.
Oh, we're going to bring back Sharknado?
Every year, another one. This is Sharknado 6.
All right.
So it was 6 years ago you made that goofy ice cream.
Yes. We won't go into that right now.
All right.
That did not work. The lawsuits were terrible. Anyway, so we'll get started. Jack, you ready?
Ready to go?
Oh,
Okay.
Jack, am I on?
You are on.
Hey.
Of course, we're taping this, so that's why we do an introduction. Hi, I'm Steve Thompson. I'm president of Emery Thompson Machine, and this is our continuing series of Make It Fresh, where Jeff Markow and I are going to make fresh, different products, ice cream, ices, gelato, sherbet, yogurt, dairy-free, and we're not going to do yogurt today. And we're going to answer a lot of questions and try to help you out going towards your business. I wanted to show you something before we start. This just came in yesterday, and these come in unsolicited, and I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but this is a note from Utter Delights Ice Cream. And Utter Delights Ice Cream wrote a short note, said, 1 year ago we took the class at Emery Thompson. Thanks, Steve. And it's from Kim McAndrew and Bob Jones.
So I got the exact same note, and it said, 1 year ago we took your boot camp.
Wow.
Same picture, same note.
So they took both our courses.
Yes.
So what they won was the Golden Scoop Ice Cream Festival People's Choice Award first place. Can you see that, Jack?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I'd
What
like
is
to
it,
have
the
that
Golden Scoop
I'd like to
Award?
have that Golden Scoop, wouldn't you?
You know, they
We'll
gave
pass
that away
around
to
for you
the
see.
dog owners, too.
So just like, I'm going to ignore him, just like Jeff, who came in here and sat in the back of the class and came up with the classic comment. He said, if that idiot Steve Thompson can make all this, imagine what I could do. And that was the start.
True.
That was the start of his business.
I didn't use the word idiot.
Oh, that's okay.
Much more severe.
I'm going to start off with something that I've never made before, and I don't eat cereal, but everybody tells me that Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal is excellent and that it makes a good ice cream. I know Jeff's class yesterday was starting to experiment with it, but they didn't follow through, so we'll see how it goes today. It may be a winner and may be a bomb, but we'll find out. And it's very simple. It's just going to be 2 ingredients, Cinnamon Toast Crunch and vanilla extract. And the dairy mix. I'm going to go get the dairy mix. I'll be right back. You keep them entertained.
You might grab some cinnamon.
Only if you see it up there.
Okay, we thought we might put a little more in.
I don't even know if we have it up there, Jeff. Otherwise, I've got onion powder.
That'll work.
This is a dairy blend that came out of the cow yesterday afternoon around 4 o'clock.
From the moo to you.
From Utter to Utter Delight. How's that? And this is a blend of milk, cream, sugar, and skim milk. Skim milk is what I call the magic ingredient. It's actually heavy cream with all the fat removed. So it adds a lot more body to the ice cream without adding additional fat or liquid. So it's milk, cream, sugar, skim milk powder. And this is all blended up by a local dairy, and they're all over the United States and in many places in the world. It's easy to get. And it's all put together, it's pasteurized, it's homogenized, and then put in these plastic bags, BHP safe. And it's delivered to us overnight, and so it's about as fresh as you can get.
5, right? 5 quarts?
Yeah, 5's good. I think I wrote on the formula 6. The alternative is something that comes out of Italy, which has more sky miles than I'll ever have. This is a powdered version of this dairy blend. And there are no cows. There's cattle. There's beef cows in Italy, but there's really no dairy cattle. And the dairy cows are in Argentina on the Pampas, and the cows are milked on the Pampas, and then the product, the milk, the cream, and all is sent through a machine called a spray dryer, invented by a family friend of mine, Henningsen Foods, way long ago. And so they turn this into a powder. They ship it by the boatload over to Italy, where they put it in these nice foil bags, ship it to the Port of Elizabeth, and then ship it to you in Iowa. So this thing has traveled a long way, and it's a powder compared to this that traveled maybe 20 miles from the cow to Emery Thompson. So which one's fresher? Who makes the better gelato in the world? Americans do, because we have access to fresh dairy product. This is a powder. The only time we use powders here or anywhere is we're in Florida, if you didn't know, and we get hurricanes and the power goes out for 4 or 5 days, And so we have powdered milk that we all keep in our hurricane closet. So when the power's out, the refrigeration's off, we can have some milk in our coffee. This is a last-ditch, desperate desire to have milk in your coffee as opposed to fresh product. So I have always contended that Americans make the best ice cream in the world because we're using, that's good, because we're using fresh product, only a day old. It does have a shelf life. It has a shelf life liquid of about 2 to 3 weeks, and it's very easy to use. So we're just going to pour this. I'm going to use the 12-quart machine. You want to do it?
Oh, no.
I'll do it. Okay. Thank you. And we've already sanitized the machine and gotten it all ready before you came, and I'll show that all to you a little later in the program, but I know you're hungry for breakfast, and so let's make some breakfast. Whoops. Whoops is not a good word.
I just put that towel there.
I know. I got distracted. I was looking over my shoulder.
See, you lose focus for an instant.
And you got trouble. Yeah, you do.
He put it all over the floor yesterday because he lost focus like that.
You know, hey, we're not fighter pilots. I don't think it matters that much.
Oh, it matters.
Okay. So my dairy blend is in there. Just going to wipe this down a little for Jeff for later. And I'm going to start it up. My infinite overrun is something I invented 14 years ago now. And it allows you to vary the speed of the drive without losing the pulling power of it. Normally, if you dim down these lights, say to 20 watts, you've robbed the light bulb of all that power. It's only a 20-watt bulb. If you dim down a machine, a motor, you wouldn't have enough strength. The 3-horsepower motor would now be a 1/4 horse and wouldn't be strong enough to pull through. With my invention, the power stays the same throughout the spectrum. So I have different choices on here. I have about 10 different products that I've picked. I also have a manual up and down that you can vary it if you want. So I'm just going to go to Super Premium, which is going to be a little less air content than homemade, and hit start, get it running, turn on the refrigeration, and we're going.
Oh, you want to put these in before you turn on the refrigeration?
No.
No? Okay.
I don't.
You want to put them in now, though, right?
In a minute. I'm going to put the vanilla in first so I don't forget. I tend to forget the vanilla. Anybody from Jeff's class remember how much vanilla? 1 ounce to what? Per quart. We put 5 quarts of mix in. We put 6 quarts of mix in. So we're going to put in 6 ounces of vanilla.
It's about $80.
Yeah. Okay. That goes in. Everything's freezing. Now I'm going to start adding the cookies, or the crunch cereal. I don't know how this is going to be to pour. Now don't try this with any other batch freezer on the market. They'll void your warranty for putting anything into it. They're just not strong enough. Now, we could also throw some bananas in at this point if you wanted. That would be interesting. You might even throw some chocolate chips in if you like. I'm going to save most of these for when it comes out. So don't let me forget. And that's how easy it is to make ice cream.
We don't know yet.
Well, it's going to be ice cream no matter what.
That's true.
And this is going to run for about 8 minutes. And, okay, that's good. Any questions so far? Yes?
With the mix that you put in there, it was non-vanilla mix. You get mixed now with vanilla in it.
This mix has some vanilla in it.
The question was asking about the mix. Does it have vanilla in it or not? Some of the lower level fat ice creams like we're using at 10%, has vanilla in it. But the dairy is a dairy. Their business is cows and milk. It's not vanilla. So they're going to put the minimal amount of vanilla into it that they can get away with and still call it vanilla. So I add more vanilla. I subscribe to Jeff's method, and I put in a large amount of vanilla. 1 ounce per quart is a lot of vanilla, and this is a two-fold vanilla. So it's a tremendous amount. But I have one attitude towards making ice cream, and that is if I hand you a pale pink ice cream and you say, oh, that's delicious, what is it? And you can't tell that it's red raspberry instead of strawberry, I failed at making ice cream. I want the vanilla flavor to be really predominant because it's going to go well with this particular cereal. If I was using Count Chocula, I probably wouldn't use vanilla because the predominant flavor is going to be chocolate, and I'd be wasting my money putting vanilla in. So it's a great product. So even though the product says vanilla, I'm adding more. Now Jeff, along this same line, asked me for the next class to bring in some chocolate mix. And that'll be fine, except same thing. They're a dairy. They specialize in cows. They don't specialize in chocolate. Jeff uses fantastic chocolates from different sources. One of them is Ghirardelli. And I'm going to recommend to him that if he wants to make a great chocolate ice cream, don't buy a chocolate mix from a dairy. Buy the plain mix and add your own specialty chocolate. Chocolate is so subjective. My wife likes 85% cocoa, which if you bite it, it tastes like chalk. It's absolutely horrible. I think M&Ms and Hershey bars are the be-all and end-all of chocolate. So there's a wide spectrum of what people like, and I think Jeff will make a better ice cream. My suggestion, if he doesn't use a chocolate mix but actually uses a white mix and adds the chocolate to it. Yes?
You use vanilla, and you said two-fold. Why not use one-fold? And is it pure vanilla or is it extract?
The question is about the two-fold. We have to repeat the questions because the camera can't hear them. The question is about two-fold vanilla and what was the other part of it?
Extract.
And the extract. Pure vanilla. Pure vanilla. Where'd my bottle go?
Right here.
Oh, thanks. It's a nasty little thing that's going on with vanilla, and so let me backtrack while we have a little bit of time. Back in the, when was it, 70s or 80s? I guess it was the 80s. And by the way, if someone says that they remember that they grew up in the 60s and they remember this and that, they're lying because anybody from the 60s doesn't remember it. But the 80s, and so we had Colombia and other countries that were growing coffee beans say, oh, the weather's terrible, it's just ruined the crop, and the price quadrupled. And whether it was true or not, we don't think it was, because Americans reacted by making Louisiana coffee, which is where you add chicory to the coffee to extend it. And so the consumption of the Avocado beans from Colombia went way, way down, and guess what? The next year the price went way, way down. Well, the same thing has happened to vanilla. They have claimed now for 3 or 4 years. This is not the manufacturer. This is the source, Madagascar vanilla. They are claiming that the weather has been so horrible that the orchids can't grow, and vanilla comes from orchids, that it's raised the price. Well, the price has gone from $60 a gallon to about $540 a gallon. And the only way that price is coming down is if we Americans find different ways, because we're the biggest consumer in the world. If we find different ways to use vanilla in a great taste, and
Or
this
different
comes
sources.
and yeah, if you can find different sources,
I
they're
have.
hard to do. Lockhead Vanilla is one of my favorite companies, and so they came out with they have their pure vanilla at $560 a gallon. They have this one which is called Flavor 103A, and you can pick this up at my website. And it is a, what do they call it? All natural vanilla. Now, I don't know exactly the terminology between all natural and pure, but this is $100 a gallon. And this is way better than vanillin, which is synthetic. So I'm still using an all natural vanilla in my ice cream, getting a great taste, and I've cut the cost by 5 times. But you'll see that price come down. As people get frustrated with the cost of things, other sources come in, innovation comes in, we will have lower prices. We're not going to be held hostage forever. I keep checking this just to see the texture, and Jeff and I pull ice cream at different textures. It doesn't matter how you pull it. It's what you want. I'm going to take a look. I'll stand over here for this camera. Open it and close it. And it's still oozing down a little bit. I'm going to add him as he comes out. I like it so that I can open the gate and close it quickly, just up, down, and it cuts off like a knife went through it. The number one thing I hear from new customers, and we have over 37,000 of them in 171 countries. Last week alone, I solved 11 machine problems around the world. 11's not much out of 37,000. And they were all solved in less than 2 minutes because the customer was freezing the product too stiff. They just got the machine. They've seen soft ice cream cones, which is a small diameter barrel, and you pull out the cone. They thought, oh, this is going to be like soft ice cream. This is a big diameter barrel. If we pulled it out that stiff, it would get hung up in the machine because it's all frozen. So this is going to come out in a semi-soft state. How do you like that compared to how you do it? Jeff pulls out sooner than I do.
That's ready.
That's ready. Okay. So
for me.
For Jeff, it's ready. So, and it isn't going to make any difference in the texture or the freezing time whatsoever. So, I'm going to go with Jeff. I'm going to take
the other side, and I'll throw these in. Unless you want to do it.
I can do it.
Okay.
So now I'm going to add. I have my flavor identity for every particle of dairy. There is now a particle of cereal next to it that's been ground up. But we also eat with, so if you were blindfolded and you taste it, you say, yeah, that's cereal ice cream. But you can't see the cereal, and we eat with our eyes. So I'm going to have the fruit or flavor identity by shaking in the pieces. I'm going to open up this part way and just shake them in. Now I'm going to stop here and just mix it a little bit. So I could have gotten this ice cream out in 35 seconds, but I wanted to take a little longer to add these. And I'll just roll that over a little bit. By the way, this is a adjustable shelf, so I can do everything from, come on in, have a seat. I can do everything from pint containers up to pans, up to 2.5 and 3 gallon tubs.
This is the only scoop we have.
Oh, we don't have a spade or something?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's going to be good. Now, I have a little bit of ice cream left in there. I'm just going to up the speed to push out the last bit. Now, one last thing about just topping off the tub, because I'm going to multitask here and tell you all sorts of stuff. There's my tub. Looks beautiful. Everybody see that? If you were making Oreo cookie ice cream, you would have at the bottom of the tub, because I would take the cookies and break them into, between my thumbs, one bag in the machine, one bag as it's coming out. I'm going to end up with cookie dust, Oreo cookie dust. Well, being a New Yorker, I'll warn you that you don't then take what's left and pour it on top of the tub, because a New Yorker looks at it and says, that's a pile of dirt. That's dust, that's dirt, and we know it isn't, but it doesn't look as appealing as you think it would. This is appealing that it's got all the pieces in it, that people can actually see what it is. So come on up. And we'll have you try this, and we'll see if it worked. And give me an honest answer. It won't hurt my feelings. You just will never be invited back. There's spoons here. So help yourself to a spoon. I can hear Sammy wants some.
Yeah.
I had to step out for an emergency phone call, and you were discussing the cream. I've called my local farmers, and they keep telling me that they have a soft serve mix. Is that the same thing? Because they're saying it has vanilla in it and some other stuff in it.
It'll work.
So it will
Yeah.
work?
Yes.
Okay.
Where in the country are you?
Louisiana.
Okay.
Near New Orleans.
I think everybody heard the question. It was about that her dairy has soft serve mix available. Depends on the fat content. We want it up around 10%. If it's down around 4, we don't want it.
Okay.
The federal government says if you want to call this stuff ice cream, it's got to be 10% or higher. In New York, we're responsible for Haagen-Dazs and Ben & Jerry, Breyers, Bluebell, Hershey, just everybody you can imagine, all started as a family business. And in New York, if you were selling 14% ice cream mix, Haagen-Dazs is 16, by the way. If you were selling 14, I'm going to sell 16, just so for bragging rights, just so I can say I'm the richest ice cream in all of New York. Down here in Florida, I come down here 13 years ago, and ice cream parlors are not as big a volume business as they were up north. And they're all run by us Yankees. And so I looked into it and said, what's wrong? It can't be just because it's Northerners running it. And the problem was, in this heat and this humidity, the body just cannot tolerate a 16% butterfat ice cream. When you buy Haagen-Dazs, you take it home, you're having a small portion for dinner, and then you're having another little scoop of it at 11 o'clock at night. You pick at it. But in an ice cream parlor, if you're given a nice big portion like Jeff serves and it's 16% butterfat, and you go out in 95-degree heat and 100% humidity, you're going to sweat, it's going to give you a stomach ache, and your reaction is going to be not, oh, the fat content made me feel ill. It's going to be, oh, Steve Thompson's ice cream made me feel awful, therefore I'm not going back to Steve Thompson's ice cream parlor. So we dropped the fat content all the way down to the federal minimum. This is smooth and creamy, I think you'll agree to that. And it is only 10% fat. It's the bottom of the barrel percentage-wise, according to the Food and Drug Administration. And for this environment, it makes a great ice cream. So for the lady in Louisiana, hot and humid. South Carolina, unbelievably hot and humid. The lower fat contents make sense. You go up into Ohio, you go up into Wisconsin, the fat contents are going to go up. Yes, sir. You had a question? No? He just like, oh, I thought you were raising your spoon. Okay. Excellent. Okay. So it's got the seal of approval from Jeff, so I guess we're good. I'll start rinsing out your machine and turn the floor over to you.
Okay. You don't mind that I did that, do you?
That's great. We got to use it.
Yeah, why throw them out?
So
we'll make a new thing. I never made this before, so we'll try it. Your guinea pigs today. We're going to make Oreo Cheesecake Ice Cream. I don't know. We'll see. So to make it, we're going to start, because this is a 12-quart machine, so we use half batches, which is 5 quarts. And because he took 6, so now I got to open a new bag. These are called bladders. And this is how your mix comes. The bladders are 10 quarts, pretty universal. And they're a little, takes a little getting used to in the beginning, but then it's no problem. We need one more of these because you took 6 and I need 5. And it's good. You can drink this and get fat. But it's good. It's good. And if you're a coffee drinker, add this to your coffee. That's really good. And that way you get really fat. So you don't have the recipe for this. Should I give it to them?
I would give it to them.
Yeah,
Talk fast.
Have they earned it?
Yes, but talk fast. That way they won't hear it all.
Okay.
and they'll have to buy your book.
Gotcha. All right, so we're going to add, you use 6 quarts. How come?
Because I knew it was
Normally
going to be
it's 10.
I knew it was going to be a good ice cream, and I wanted more volume.
I got you.
That's all. That's the only reason.
So I'll make 6 too.
How many ice cream flavors are you doing today? Remember, we got this bag and one other.
Then I'll use 5.
Use 5. Play safe.
Okay, 5 will be a half batch for me. Because I have the 24 quart Emery, and I formulate everything for batches, and a batch is 1 bag, 10 quarts. But we're doing half batches today. Behind you. Okay, so this is the mix that we'll use. And I went to Publix yesterday and bought no-bake classic cheesecake. Now, of course, they had 2 kinds. They had Walmart. They had the Walmart brand, and then they had the Jell-O brand. And the difference was about 60 cents for a box. Need I say more?
Yeah, I bought the Walmart, and you bought
I
the
know,
Jell-O.
I know. In the box of no-bake cheesecake, you get 2 packets. One is the cheesecake mix. The other is the graham cracker crust mix. It's not mix. It's just crushed graham crackers. So we'll put them both in. And because of these machines, I don't think he stated it enough. The machine takes anything. It accepts everything. Nuts, fruits, frozen fruits, cherries, cucumber. By the way, cucumber, fruit or vegetable? Fruit. Fruit. I run trivia at my store, and that was the question last week. Cucumber, fruit or vegetable? All right, so we have 2 boxes of this, and we'll start. Is that ready yet? I need the machine, you know.
Sorry.
You know, time waits for no man.
You saw how when I took the ice cream out, I left the dasher spinning. That's to push the ice cream out. Right now, there's just water in there. And so if I open that gate, the front row of people here is going to get bathed like Shamu the whale. So turn it off.
Shamu's still alive?
He's alive, but he isn't performing.
Living the life of luxury as a sperm whale or whatever?
Yeah, that's a really bad pun, but yes. In other words, he's a stud.
Well, hey, I didn't say that.
Do you care if a cookie gets into your ice cream? You want me to do 2 rinses?
No, 1 is fine.
See, normally you would plan your production so you don't even have to rinse.
And
would
you
start
really
with-
don't between yours and mine.
Yeah, because it's just a cookie.
Sure.
But you could do a run of vanilla ice cream, and you're not going to do 1 batch of vanilla. You're going to be 2, 3, or 4 to build inventory. And then you're going to do, say, butterscotch swirl, vanilla ice cream in the machine, swirl as it's coming out with a pastry bag, or Jeff's got a great method. And then from there, you could go down to strawberry, Bordeaux cherry, black raspberry. Each one of them's a flavor, a fruit flavor. Each one's a little darker than the last. If there's a half a cup of strawberry left in here and it gets into the raspberry, nobody's going to notice. That's homemade. So you're not rinsing out all the time. I do have a few cookie pieces in here, so I'm going to run it through a spaghetti strainer. Or colander, so that I said I grew up in Italian neighborhoods.
We don't have a colander.
I'll find one.
Okay.
And I'm going to run this through that just so it doesn't clog my drain. Otherwise, you'd be calling the plumber every week.
And it's a good idea. You need a triple bay sink. It's required by law. And the triple bays, the first one is washing, so you'll normally fill it up with soap suds and hot water. And the next one is rinsing, and they must be labeled, by the way. These aren't, because it's not a commercial retail establishment here. But wash, rinse, and then sanitize. So you wash it. Well, that's redundant, isn't it? You rinse it, then you sanitize. All right, so here's the ingredients. We'll add, if you're writing, don't write, it doesn't matter. And always keep something underneath your spout and on the floor. What a mess.
What's a mess?
But your floor, it's always a mess.
Oh, it is. I know. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I'm going this way.
All right, so we're adding 5 quarts of mix.
While Jeff's doing that, we rate our machines by finished product. How much actually comes out of the machine? So this is a 12 quart. It can make either 10 quarts or 12 quarts, depending on you. I'll just interject a little bit, like,
Filling a void?
yeah, like
Okay.
ESPN.
Okay, so first we're going to add, first we're going to start it, because when you think about it, I used to have a KitchenAid stand mixer in my store. You know, the thing where the thing goes over and then the bowls and you put the thing. And then I realized you don't need it because this is the ultimate mixer. This is going to revolve at 234 revolutions per minute. I don't even think the KitchenAid does that. So this is perfect with giant blades, so it's a great mixer. Do this. Okay.
Ken's going to dub in oohs and ahs
Okay,
later.
then I don't need to
He's gonna
prompt the crowd.
No, we'll do sound overs later.
So first we'll start with 1 box of cheesecake mix. Ultimately, I think we're going to be in close to the 2 boxes. But in my mind, 1.5 will work, so we'll have to taste as we go. In my class, I'll show you how to do this on the countertop, and it's foolproof. All you have to know is 9 times 6 or 8 times 3 or whatever, which people don't know so easily. I'm not judging this crowd, So we'll add 1. That's the cheesecake mix. And this is the graham cracker. Can you see it? Crushed graham crackers. And we'll add that. And then we'll get, I don't like it over here. It's always over here. It's always over there.
Maybe we should have made the bourbon vanilla first with the bourbon in it to wake them up.
No, they like that. That was great bread. This could start a whole new trend. The kids are going to, you show this to a kid, he's going to want it every day with different cereals. Which brings me to a point. Steve makes see that little machine over there? You can put that on the counter in your house, whip up breakfast every day for the kids, ice cream and different cereals. You'll be parent of the year.
Yes, you will.
Right? That's perfect for that. Okay, we'll add some vanilla, and my formula is 1 ounce per quart. So what do we have? 5 quarts. So we'll put 5 ounces in. And we've got in there 1 pack of cheesecake. I'm going to start by adding half of these, just so that we can, when we taste it, we'll have a starting point. So half of that, and half of that. And then, since this is Oreo cookie cheesecake ice cream, I buy these at Restaurant Depot. These are nothing more than crushed or pieces of Oreo. This is where the companies make a fortune. This used to be waste for them. What? Yeah, this used to be floor sweeping. Now they package it, sell it for more than the cookies. And they do the same thing with Heath Bar pieces, Butterfinger pieces, everything. Payday pieces I even buy. So, there's a rat. Somebody thought of this. I don't know how much of this we're going to need. So we'll start with whatever we start with, and then we'll taste it. We still haven't turned the refrigerant on because we're setting this up. I don't know what it's going to be like, so we'll taste it. When we get it right, we'll turn the refrigerant on.
watch these videos, you know that Jeff and I agree on very little. If he wasn't talking to the crowd, he'd be moving at a faster pace, putting things in. So I would turn on the refrigeration immediately and add my ingredients, and I can still taste it, but the refrigeration's going. I'm not going to whip too much air in there.
Okay.
And you've got time. You've got about 4 minutes to keep adding things where it's still liquid. So Jeff's wrong. Now, I know the camera can't see it, but anytime I say Jeff's wrong, all he does is point to Mr. Sharknado up there and says, now who's wrong?
Oh, that I don't have to point to that. We've got avocado ice cream. We have salsa ice cream.
Yeah, we're making avocado maybe today.
Oh, good.
Later. Yes, we are, definitely. Yes, sir.
Now you talk about like cheesecake.
2.5 pounds.
So I want to know what's different element for each product. Like what's element, for instance, like Italian ice, I know it's like water, sugar, stabilizer.
Okay. After Jeff finishes putting all his ingredients in and this is running, I'll go into some of that.
Go ahead. I'm good.
You're all set?
So what do we have in there? We have 1.5 packages of cheesecake mix, 2.5 pounds of Oreos, 5 quarts of mix, 5 ounces vanilla. Right? Now
You should be writing this down because he doesn't give it out again.
Now we'll see if it's worthy. That's real good. I'm going to add the rest of this because I don't want to take it home.
And it's already open.
You can't have too much of a good thing, right? Okay, what was his question? It sounded interesting.
His question was, we talk about all these different products and what is it that the machine can do? Our machine does things that no other machine in the world can do. Nobody else has my invention of the infinite overrun control. Nobody else has the sheer weight of the dasher and the drive system that we have. You look at any of the other machines without naming names and they're going to say, you'll void your warranty if you put anything into the machine other than liquids. We don't do that. You're going to see today, you've seen me throw in the cereal, just put in cookies. I'm going to add whole bananas later, just drop them in. This machine can take anything. This thing's a tank. And we've been building these tanks for 113 years. And the only time I make changes to them is to improve it. I never cut the cost on this machine because they're all handmade here in Florida. A batch freezer, our batch freezer, nobody else's. Our batch freezer is like your oven at home. Your oven doesn't have a brain, it's just a big source of heat. It has no idea if it's baking a pie or broiling a steak or heating up tater tots. It's just heat. You put it in there, it heats it up. The Emery Thompson batch freezer, with the ability to adjust the speed, can make homemade ice cream, which is high air content. Why would we want high air content? Because we're running high fat products. And I use the analogy of high fat versus, or high air content versus low air content in birthday cakes, or cakes in general. You have a birthday cake, a vanilla birthday cake, and you have a pound cake. They're both cakes, they're both good. Which would you rather have a second piece of? I think everybody would say, I can take a second piece of the birthday cake, the pound cake has left me too heavy. So just because we can adjust the air doesn't make it right for a particular product. So homemade ice cream is high fat, high air content in perfect balance, and quite frankly, all people notice is the air, the flavor. Nobody ever walked out of an ice cream parlor and said, oh man, that's the best air content I ever ate. Or I can't wait to come back tomorrow morning. I just love their fat content. People say, I love the mint taste. It was a natural mint. Steve got it from Green Mountain Flavors, all natural. The chocolate chips weren't chalky. They were Ghirardelli from San Francisco. They had a nice taste to it. That's what people remember. They don't remember the air content or the fat content. It's just part of the package. So just like your oven that can heat up anything you put into it, I should tell you the story about the guy who he wanted to hide his gun from his grandchildren coming over. So he put his revolver into the oven, and then when they wanted pizza, he turned on the oven to heat it up, and the thing starts firing. And so he reaches into the oven without an oven mitt because it's firing, grabs it, the thing shoots him, and also he burns his hand because it was in the oven. Stupid place.
One-armed admiral story? Is that?
No, that's not
okay.
the Admiral story. That can't be told here.
Oh, really?
I don't think so. So anyway, this thing is like your oven. It has no brain other than the infinite overrun control, which will adjust the speed. So homemade is high overrun. Super premium is a lower air content. Gelato is even lower, but now the fat content drops from 16, 14% down to about 8 or 10%, sometimes lower. Custard is the lowest air content of any product. That has 3% egg yolk in it. It's usually 10 or 12% fat, and it's as dense as you can possibly do. In between there, you have sorbet, sorbetto, Italian ice. They're all the same thing with different names.
Cream
I was
ice.
probably going to show you this later, but when I pull out my Italian ice today, that's going to be my banana blueberry Italian ice, and I'll probably get $2 for that 4-ounce portion. This is the same machine, the same product. This is my banana blueberry sorbet, sold in a fine French restaurant, and I'm going to get $7 for it. And the only difference is the container. It's the same stuff. Anybody tells you that there's a difference between sorbet and Italian ice hasn't a clue what they're talking about, which would be most of the Italians. So it can also make, which we're going to talk about today too if we have time, dairy-free ice cream. I'm of the young end of the baby boomers. Jeff is at the way old end of the baby boomers. And there are 72 million of us. We are the biggest buying group that ever came along. This is what Haagen-Dazs goes after, and Ben & Jerry, and all the other high-fat ice creams. And then you have the millennial age group. The age varies, and I'm making generalizations, but let's say 21 to 39. They are even bigger than our group. Our kids had a lot of kids. And they are 85 million strong. And they, in general, again, generalizations, are not really keen on dairy. So if I tell people, if I had my 4 millennial children over for dinner, they're scattered around the country, they're psychiatrists and lawyers and all sorts of different jobs. If they all came for Christmas dinner down to Florida and I served them Haagen-Dazs, they'll happily have the Haagen-Dazs. But they don't have pints of Haagen-Dazs in their freezer like Paula and I do. We eat on a regular basis, they don't. They prefer a dairy-free product. And I use, I did my own formulations of dairy-free using coconut, and they were good. But the problem with it is they would freeze up in a serving cabinet, that they couldn't go to the lower temperatures. So I use this product called Mommy's, spelled M-A-M-I-S. And so, and this is 100% vegan, no GMOs, no any chemicals in it. This is just a coconut-based powder with sugar in it, and it makes the greatest dairy-free ice cream in the world. So this machine will make that. Sherbet. Sherbet's an old-fashioned product, and it usually, when I was growing up, it was, what flavors did you have?
Lemon,
raspberry,
orange, lemon,
and that was about it. And it was kind of sticky and gummy because they didn't have Italian ice. They didn't know how to deal with
Today
it.
it's a multi-billion-dollar industry called cream ice.
Yes, that's right. We rechanged the name, repurposed it, and called it cream ice. But it's sherbet. But our sherbets, Jeff's sherbets, are not sticky and gummy because we're not loading it up with emulsifiers and stabilizers.
Okay, put that on pause. We're going to draw out a pie. These are sold in Walmart or the super, 99 cents for these. This is an Oreo cookie one. They come graham cracker or Oreo cookie. And it comes like that, which means you can make the pie and do that. So I'm just going to draw off enough pie to give to Paula. I know who butters my bread.
Yeah, you know who runs the company, too.
So it's very simple.
What about the refrigeration?
And this will settle into a beautiful little pie that you can sell at your store, $10, or take it to somebody's house for dinner, or just take it out of the freezer at 11:30 and glom away. And there you go. That's pretty cool. 99 cents and a few scoops of ice cream, and she's got it. And you can decorate it. You can put some Oreos on it, chips, or you can take your can of whipped cream and go whoop. You have to make that noise, though. Okay, so here it is. Oreo Cheesecake Ice Cream.
On those pies, I think you can get a little higher price because something that you ladies might not know about men, we cheat. We cheat on eating. You put us on a diet and you feed us lettuce leaves and we cheat. So if there's a pint of ice cream in the freezer and at 11 o'clock at night I take a couple of spoonfuls or maybe really half the pint, it's noticeable the next morning. But if I've got that pie and I got a nice portion of it for dessert tonight, at 11 o'clock at night, I'm cutting off a half-inch slice.
No, you're eating the whole thing. You're eating the whole thing.
Well, I'm trying to be nice. It'll never be noticed. And tomorrow night, another half inch. And then all of a sudden, where'd the pie go? Oh, honey, don't you remember you had it for lunch? We do
Okay,
that.
so have some
Come on out.
Oreo cookie cheesecake ice cream.
That's good. Okay.
None for you, Mike?
Mine never gets this.
Did y'all just pour water in there?
Like it comes out so much thinner.
Correct.
If I let it
Correct.
sit longer,
That's a rinse is
I
just
get it
water.
just quick.
How old's your
I
machine?
have my own
About 3
theory
minutes.
have
on
a blade in
on
backwards.
when to
No, it
rinse.
has the
He
different
rinses. He
Okay.
sets his ice creams up differently
You're
than I
doing
do.
something.
But
You're doing
so be it.
something mechanically wrong, and we'll figure it out. Just call me on the phone
Okay.
when you're making ice cream, because how much mix are you putting in?
New Orleans, right?
25 parts.
How big is the machine? This one. This is a 6 quarts finished.
Where's your
you should
name
only put
tag,
4
dude?
quarts in here. Yeah, you're overloading it.
What's your name?
And then
Richard.
whatever.
Okay.
If
now
you were
we
making
know.
vanilla, I'd put in 3.5 to 4 quarts. If I'm making Oreo cookie or this
Are those your
cheesecake, I'd
daughters?
put in 3.5 quarts. And then my ingredients, you're overloading it, so it's getting frozen on the outside, but not on the inside.
For sure. Because then when I open it up, I get frozen stuff and then with it.
And you get the error code because it's frozen up on the outside.
This was easy enough to make,
and
wasn't
it
it?
can't cut through that.
Okay.
Easy.
Thanks.
Now, those of you
Simple
who may
ice
have been
cream
listening to
tonight.
that last conversation, the
Instead of
lady had
Oreo, you
a
could
question
add
about
anything.
running her machine. And if that had been any other company and she called up tech support, she said
man.
that her product was hard on the outside and soft on the inside. And after asking her a couple of simple questions, I found out she was putting too much mix in the machine. She was overloading the machine. Quite frankly, if that had been any other manufacturing company, they would have said, we have great service. We're going to send someone out. In 2 days, they'll be right over there. The mechanic would come. He would change the expansion valve for $234. He'd charge you 2 hours labor, $400. So now you've got a $634 bill, and he says, let's make ice cream. He knows how to run the machine. He makes her formula. It runs perfectly. And you say, isn't that wonderful? They fixed my new machine, and it only cost $700. Well, with an Emery Thompson, you call here, and you speak to a tech, you speak to me, and we'd have you up and running in 2 minutes because we ask the questions that we need to know, because all we do is batch freezers. We don't do soft serve, we don't do slush, we don't do deep fat fryers or blodgett ovens. We just do batch freezers. We are the expert in the world on batch freezers. I tell people, and I'll tell you on the camera, if you don't buy one of our machines, by all means, use my formulas. I have 231 videos, and after today we'll be at 237 videos. And between Jeff and I, we make some of the best ice cream in the world, as this class is right now tasting. So Jeff, what do you say we take a 10-minute break, let them stretch their legs?
Okay.
We're at 10 o'clock,
Okay.
and I've had it for a couple of years.
Okay.
We'll take a break for 10 minutes. Jack, if you want to pot us down.
They can use this time to purchase the books if they want.
Oh, yes. Jack, are we still up?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me chill for my friend here. A couple of things. One of them is important. The other is just a plain old shill. Jeff runs a course called Ice Cream Boot Camp, and half the audience here today spent the last 2 days there. And I want to tell you about it because getting information in the ice cream industry is quite scarce. People are very secretive about it. They don't want to tell you their formulas. And I don't blame them. Who wants people constantly coming into your store and saying, what machine do you use? How do you make your mint chip? Where do you get your mint? You know, find it out on your own. Or go to my website, emerythompson.com, and it's all there. But Jeff's course is all hands-on. He's going to have you making ice cream. You're going to be waiting on tables. You're going to be waxing his Corvette, counting the money and slipping 10% of it into your pockets when he's not looking. He's not here. And you're going to be very busy for 2 days, and I have never heard anybody, that's a double negative, everyone who goes to his class comes out raving about it. It's money well spent. And then after the 2 days, then you come to our class, which is free, 4 easy payments of free, and you'll learn a lot. Anytime you can gain some information, you should take it. Penn State has a course. University of Wisconsin has a course. Steve Christensen runs Ice Cream Scoop School. He's also very good. There are places where you can get information. Pretty much stay away from books, except for two exceptions, Jeff's book and Malcolm Stogo's book, Incredible Ice Cream. These are real books that'll teach you. The rest of the books are concerned with fat content and how to analyze it, and stuff that if you worked for Land O'Lakes Butter and you were their chief scientist, you would take one of their courses. Like even Penn State. The ice cream short course is 5 days long of your, mind-numbing, dull, because it's all about, analyzing fat contents. They have another course at the end of the month that I teach at, which is called Ice Cream 101, and it's a weekend course, and it's about marketing. What you want to learn from us and from these courses is not how to analyze the solids level in the dairy. It's really not important. Nobody cares. You go to a professional for that. What you want to know is if a single scoop costs $3.50, how much should you charge for a banana split? That's the kind of stuff you want to learn. Jeff's book is his own recipes that he makes here. You can get them while watching the videos if you slow the tape down really slowly and turn the volume up, because he mumbles and talks fast so that you won't hear the formulas. But he's got this available too at his website, which is xhippie@aol.com. And since Jeff is a creation of the 60s, he can't even spell hippie right. So it's the letter X and then HIPPEE. If you go to xhippie, HIPPY, it's a black site, and the FBI will be on you in 24 hours. So check this out, and if those of you watching this tape, check out Jeff's class. He's in Fruit Loops, Florida. Oh, Fruitland, Florida, excuse me. And it's called Mystic Ices and Ice Cream. And good stuff. So let's take a break. We'll be back about 10 minutes, and you can walk around. You can pet Sammy. You can use the restrooms. And we'll come back here, and we're going to make a all-organic Italian ice. Okay, we're back. We're going to make banana, blueberry, Italian ice, and we're going to do it all organic. So don't roll your eyes. We're going to get into that. So let's get the product going first, and then we'll talk about how I'm making it. I'm going to start with 32 ounces of blueberries from California. These are Driscoll brand, and they're all organic. And I'm going to need to borrow that.
This?
Yeah. Actually, no. I'll just run through some water through here.
You can have it. No problem.
Just going to rinse these off. And so in the formula, we're going to use blueberries, ripe bananas, organic sugar, a little bit of lemon, and water. Thank you. So let's dump these first. These are, how many ounces? 1 pint, okay. Now, do you think I should puree these?
Absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
I think so.
All right. Do you add water to it when you puree?
No.
Okay.
There's so much juice in them, you don't have to.
Right.
Although if you're using, what else are you putting in this?
Bananas.
You're going to use this, right?
I'll use that for the blueberries.
Yeah.
I had to plug that in for you. We're going to puree the blueberries. It's going to release the blueberry juice and give a much better flavor than just throwing them in. Because some of them, if I just throw it in the machine, many of them will get chopped, some won't. And the last thing you want is like my Sharknado with the candy corn that froze up and broke people's teeth. You don't want a blueberry, dealing with people's dentures. I've had enough lawsuits on that. So let me plug this in. Jeff will do the honors on grinding them up. You'll know when he's doing it because it sounds like an aircraft engine. You can't hear yourself think.
What else goes in this?
The bananas I'm going to do, and 48 ounces of water.
And that's it? And
yeah.
then we have lemon?
A little bit of lemon. So if you'll grind those up, I will get the water. The water I can't get organic.
Let's put a little water in because
All right.
we want to be able to pour it out of here.
All right, let me take it from here. 48 ounces of water is going to be 32 quart and a half.
Actually, if you want, we can add the water and the sugar. How much sugar?
One pound.
How much water?
Quart and a half.
Okay, is that what you have there?
It's a little more. I may have to add more water. We'll see.
All
So
right,
let's
give me
try
a
that.
little of that.
Okay. A little bit about this. The request was to make
This is
just
the
a-
rest of your water.
Okay, a straight Italian ice, but doing it organic. So I'll tell you what I found because it's pretty interesting. I base a lot of what I do on phone calls. I get phone calls from all around the world, and I answer phones from 5 in the morning till 10 at night. It's work is my fun, and my fun is my work. That's a Jimmy Buffett line, and I thoroughly believe in it. And so the blueberries and the bananas were not a problem. They were easy to get organic. They just cost twice as much as anything else. The water is going to be tap water. And just a little bit about tap water. If you're from New York like I am, you know that you can't make a decent pizza or a bagel without New York water. It doesn't have that much effect on Italian ice, if at all, because we're not trying to get dough to rise. So the regular tap water is fine. The other point is we're up here in Brooksville, Florida, where there are no tourists. There never have been and never will be. It's cows and sheep and turkeys and deer and armadillos and the occasional crocodile, but no tourists. So the people that I'm selling this product to, if I was selling in Brooksville, grew up on this water. They're used to the water. They don't know that it's terrible. They don't know that it's got an incredibly high mineral content and tastes like liquid rock because they grew up here. So since that's my market, I don't have to filter the water. I go down to Miami, and everybody in Miami is from New York on vacation. So I've got to make the water taste like New York if I'm going to get anywhere, especially in baking items. So I do run it through a reverse osmosis system to take out all the minerals. So as far as water, you look at where you're selling it and who your clientele is, and that will tell you whether or not you have to purify the water. If you're in Louisiana, most everybody's from Louisiana who lives there, you don't have to do anything with the water. Wisconsin, same thing. And here, same thing. But we don't drink the tap water. It's so bad. Did you have a question?
Yeah, what about well water? I don't know. That comes across the...
Well water is going to be the same problem because it's all being sifted through this sand and the very high mineral. We're sitting on a giant coral reef in Florida.
So you would run that back through the first osmosis, no wasn't a problem?
Would I run that well water through a filtering system? If I'm selling to the people in Brooksville, no. If I'm selling to the people in Miami, yes. So I've got the organic sugar. Here's what I found out about the organic sugar. The main ingredient, the only thing that's in here is sugar. Here's Domino, and the main ingredient and the only ingredient in here, distributed by Domino Foods, Yonkers, New York, is sugar. So I haven't found a difference there. They're both sugar. I did find something interesting because this one has very interesting statements on it. One is that it's fair trade. It's fair trade sugar. That means it came from a foreign country, and they paid the farmers a decent amount for the product. But it doesn't affect the product. The other is LEED, L-E-E-D, sustainable. And if I read this right, it says, this packaging material has been manufactured in a factory designed and built to LEED sustainable building guidelines on equipment and powered by 100% wind-generated electrical energy. So they got an award for the packaging because the packaging was made in a factory that uses wind power. That's plastic. That's not going anywhere for 100 years. That doesn't say biodegradable plastic. This is regular heavy-duty plastic, so you can drop it like that and it won't break. This is cardboard or paper, and it's brown. It's probably recycled, and this is going to biodegrade in the next rainstorm we get. So what made this sugar, as far as I can tell, worth twice the price is that the plastic was made in a factory that uses wind power. I mean, I could do that to this building. I'm not sure that improves the product. So that said, a 4-ounce or a nice portion of Italian ice, that 4-ounce cup I showed you, if I made this with all chemicals, which is the way it used to be made, sugar, water, and cheap extracts with red dye 40, yellow 17, green 6, I mean, your hands turned green when you ate the green ice. I don't even know what flavor green ice is. That cost the manufacturer, me, 1.5 cents to give them a 1/4 pound of Italian ice. If I do it my way, all natural, cane sugar, lemons, bananas, blueberries, but regular, off-the-shelf, bought fresh from the farmer, this is going to run me 10 cents for this 4-ounce portion. Doing it organic, I did the math on it, it comes out to about 22 cents to make this organic. Now here's the thing. If your business is predicated on organic, and this is going to cost you 22 cents, and you're going to sell it for $4 or higher, who cares that it costs double what my cost was? We're talking the difference between 10 cents and 22 cents, and we're getting $4 for it. So if you want to do this in all organic for the bragging rights, I think that's great. By all means, go ahead and do it. I have a friend named Vito Panza. He owns Panza and Sons, and we had a great conversation a number of years ago about organic versus all natural. And he said organic is dying, and I'll tell you why I think it's dying. He said organic is dying because if you go to the grocery store and a head of lettuce, a plain old head of lettuce, is 99 cents, and the organic is $1.29, you'll buy the organic. I feel healthier knowing that I'm eating organic for $1.29. But if that head of lettuce is 99 cents and the organic is $2.49,
yeah.
I don't feel that healthy. I can't see the value added. I'm not going to pay the money. So Vito's point was that, and this is at the height of organic, he says all natural is going to win out, but organic isn't. And it could have gone coin toss either way on that one until a store that we really like in the South here, we really do appreciate it, is Walmart. I know it's a dirty word up north, but we love Walmart. But when Walmart started saying that they were going to go full force into organic, and they were going to have lots of supplies of organic, which means that you leave the fields fallow for 5 years without growing anything on it, we're going to have all this organic stuff, and we're going to bring it in from China. What'd you say? I said, we're going to bring it in from China. Oh, you mean we can trust China to follow organic guidelines. And they're going to let all those fields where they're paying people 3 cents a day to work them to keep those unused for 5 years. And when we're going to carefully use it, and we're not going to use any fertilizers that might double the production or anything like that, yeah, we can really trust that. And in my personal opinion, I don't trust organic anymore, because once someone does it, like Walmart, you know, the bad guy, they're all going to do it. Dole Pineapple is going to do it if they go into vegetables, or Green Giant, or any of them. It just ruined the market. But if I can make a cherry Italian ice, if I can do a cherry Italian ice, and a young lady walks in with a stroller, and she's got a 2-year-old in the stroller, and somehow if the 2-year-old is talking, says, I want that cherry ice that's bright red, the mother is going to say, oh, no, you can't have that. That's got red dye 40 in it. And here's my kicker. I could say, oh, no, ma'am, we don't use any artificial dyes. This is a product from Green Mountain Flavors that is concentrated beet juice. They took the taste out, they took the flavor out, and what are you left with? The reddest thing in nature, beets. So I can make a super red Sharknado Italian ice or a cherry Italian ice, and it's going to be bright red to attract the kids, and it's made from beet juice. The second I said beet juice, I won that lady over forever. She is always going to come to my store. I used to do it by having bowls of fresh fruit out, and when the baby came in, you'd hand the baby a banana or an apple, which subliminally says, oh, this is fresh, and that's what I would be using if I had a store. But when you can say, oh, no, I have a processor who makes it from beet juice, you can't beat that.
You can't beat that.
Yeah, that was really bad. I'm sorry. Thank you for pointing that out. So with that said, let's go to work. Jeff has ground up all the blueberries.
And the sugar and the water.
Wow. And
here's your zest.
Yeah.
There's your lemons.
Look at this. He's done everything. I actually just wanted the lemon juice, but I'll add this.
It said
too.
zest.
It did? I did.
Lemon juice and zest.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I zested the frickin' lemon.
So let's pour this in. First, I'm going to make sure the gate's closed. Why would I do that? Because the last thing I did if I was running this machine was I left the gate open to ice cream out. You know, I finished over here. Last thing I did was that gate was open. So now I go pouring the product for the next batch into the machine, and it's leaking all over the floor, you know, deluge of stuff leaking all over the floor, all my organic, precious product, and I'm cursing Steve Thompson and his miserable company because the machine leaks. I left the gate open.
Wrong
I can't
machine.
tell you. I know.
Okay.
I can't tell you how many times we answer that one. Let me roll this out a bit. So this is the CB-350. This is going to make up to 6 or more quarts of product, depending on how much I put in. All right, that's that. I had more water, didn't I, left over?
I put it all in.
Oh, you did? Okay. It doesn't look like a huge batch. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to pick, what do you want to pick, sorbet or Italian ice? They're the same thing. Let's go fancy. Since we're going organic, let's go sorbet. Sorbet, sorbetto, turn it on. It's running. It's freezing. And now comes the good part. 331 videos and one father. I raised my children on Sesame Street. You know, we'd plunk them in front of the TV and they'd sit there for hours. It was wonderful. One guy wrote in, he said, my day to babysit is on Saturday, and I plunk the kids down in front of the TV and I turn on Emery Thompson videos, and they watch those. And I was walking past, and the 6-year-old was saying to the 3-year-old, now don't try this with a tailor because they'll void your warranty. And I go, phew, I've made it. I've hit the home run. So we're just going to feed that down in there. You can't do that with any other machine, and we'll just keep doing it. I'll need a spatula to help it down, but you can't put all this stuff in there. So the beauty here is it's all fresh fruit. Now, on the bananas, I bought them, they were green, that's all I could get, and I put them in brown paper bags, you know the trick. But these bananas, as you can see, have brown spots all over them. And soon they're going to turn black. And the supermarket isn't going to be able to sell them because they're ugly. But the darker they get, the mushier they get, the worse they get, the higher the sugar content they have, the flavor that you want. So I want them when they're really awful. I thought I was a real smart, excuse the expression, wise ass. I could just say New Yorker. Because I told people that you go to the greengrocer and say, listen, you see all those black bananas over there? You can't sell them. I'll tell you what, I'll take them off your hands for 50 cents or half price. And I made a great deal. Well, one of my good ice cream parlors up in Chelmsford, Massachusetts, Gary's Ice Cream, Gary said, you know what, Steve, you think you're smart, but you're really a rookie. I go into the greengrocer and I say, you see all those brown bananas that you can't get rid of? I'll tell you what, I'll take them off your hands. I'm not going to charge you for taking them because otherwise you're going to put them in the dumpster, which is going to fill the dumpster, and you're going to have to pay to get them taken away. So I'm really doing you a favor. And I go, okay, you win that one. Jeff's putting in the zest. To those of you in Lyndhurst, New Jersey, that's the Specs. And we can just do this all day long. Any questions?
You're starting to see how simple this all is? Just figure out what you want, dump it in, and make ice cream.
We got to get a cattle prod. So everything in here is as pure and natural as you can do. And like I said, the margins on this product are so incredibly high that I don't care what, and this is what Jeff told me. He said, I don't care what the product costs as long as the people come. And boy, do they come to his place. He also says things like, I love children and children are welcome at my store, they just can't come inside.
I don't think I've ever said that.
Urban legend, Jeff. No questions? Yes. Yes, it does. It says sorbet, sorbetto. Yes, it does. It is. It's the same setting. Because I sell to an executive chef, and executive chefs know more than anyone in the world, and so they want to see sorbet. We also have the setting for dairy-free ice cream, which is 165 RPM. The setting for super premium is 165 RPM. So they're the same. But the thing is, since there's no dairy, you need your biggest source of air is dairy fat. The fat cells expand. Water's going to expand 17% just sitting there. If you put, you remember an ice cube tray? Way back when you were like 1 year old, they had ice cube trays. You'd put an ice cube tray and you'd fill it up to the top with water, put it in the freezer, and when you came back a day later, it was all crowned over. Water expands 17%. So when someone tells me I want ice cream with no air in it, it's physically not possible because the dairy, the water in the dairy is going to expand 17%. That's 34% overrun. There's a lot of variations on Italian ice. We can do cream ices. Jeff invented cream ices after I showed him how to make them. And cream ice is sugar, water, flavor with a little bit of the 10% mix
3-2-1.
in.
3-2-1.
And tell them what the 3-2-1 is.
Cream ice, 3-2-1. 3 quarts of water, 2 pounds of sugar, 1 pound of mix. 3 quarts of water, 2 pounds of sugar, 1 quart of mix. And somebody told me yesterday in the class that you don't have to add mix to make cream ice.
That's right.
You can just add milk, whole milk.
It's going to be a little thin. I'd add
Well,
cream.
he said that's what I thought, but he has the business down there, and he said you could just add milk,
You know,
whole milk.
everybody's different, and whatever is successful for
Yeah.
him.
You know?
I decided the recipe had too many bananas in it.
And so you left this.
It makes me feel better. Yes.
What is a stabilizer?
A stabilizer is a product that will bind the product together so it can last longer. If you were in the wholesale Italian ice business and you wanted to make 1,000 gallons for a month from now, you could put in a stabilizer. They used to be all chemical, but now we use things like guar gum, which is a gum from trees, carrageenan, which is seaweed, to act as natural stabilizers. If I'm making this product and selling it within the next few days, I don't have to use stabilizer. If I make this product and put it in a deep freeze down to 0 or 10 below, I don't need stabilizer. Cold is the best stabilizer on earth. There's just nothing better.
So the purpose for the stabilizer is
To keep it bound together.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, very well put. Yes. Because the more you sell, the less time it hangs around.
Oh, we're going gelato pans.
Yeah, well, it's a 6-quart. You can use any containers that you want. You can fill pints and quarts from here if you want. I like these for this machine because it's going to fill one whole pan. This is 6 liters and then a little bit more. As I was saying earlier, and I didn't get to finish because we were in the middle of making ice cream, our machines are rated on finished product. Now, what does that mean? Everybody else, when they advertise they've got a 22-liter machine, what they're telling you, and that means that it's an Italian-Chinese company, what they're telling you is they took their freezing cylinder, the part that freezes, and they stood it on end, and they filled it with water, and it filled it up to the top, and it held 22 liters. It's therefore a 22-liter machine. How dishonest is that? You're never going to fill this all the way up with ice cream or any other product and expect it to freeze. So we rate by what comes out in a set amount of time. We say this is a 6-liter machine. I know it makes a little more, but I advertise it as 6. If I did it the Italian way, like Cappigiani and the others, this would be a 11-liter machine. But it's a dishonest measurement. The only way to measure a machine is how much does it make when it comes out.
Now, an interesting point would be this machine. Well, the one I have is a 24-quart machine. How many gallons is that?
I know. Oh, come on.
6, correct, Marilyn. So theoretically, you're going to get 6 gallons out on a full batch, but I get 7 most times.
Because it's got a larger capacity.
Absolutely.
And don't forget, if you were making vanilla, it might be 6, but you're adding a lot of other ingredients.
Sure.
This is now turned off. The refrigeration is off. I don't want it to get any colder. Watch this. Ready, Jack?
Yes, sir.
All right, just checking you're awake. Look how fast that comes out. Now, the Italians say, oh, we like to have it come out nice and slow so we can put these pretty ribbons in it. I'm sorry, I'm on the clock, and I'm making a lot of money. I want to get this job over with so I can go sit in the pool. So we design our machines to have large openings to really crank it out fast. Here's your 6 liters, and the color is all natural. Isn't that beautiful? Wait till you try it. I've not tried it. We'll find out. And let me get the last bit out. Because I put so many ingredients in, I know I've got more than 6 liters. And that's it. That is a all natural, all organic Italian ice. Sugar, water, and fresh flavor. It's that simple. Come on up and try it.
We haven't had the first, oh my God, I can't eat anything else yet.
Because the machine does that.
Marilyn, good math.
It's bland.
I think, judging from the ingredients, it's more banana-y than anything else.
Yeah, I think it needs more sugar. Sugar will enhance the flavor. So, all right, we've just made this recipe. I've never tried it before. I've tasted it. It's delicious, but it's a little bland. So I think I would cut back on the bananas a little bit, up the sugar a little bit, and up the blueberries a little bit.
Well, also, I got to tell you, all natural equals all bland.
True. So this is where, if you say you're going to buy a machine and you're going to experiment for the next 4 months,
Hey,
how to
Richard,
make
name tag. Hey,
how to
man.
make blueberry banana Italian ice. You don't need 4 months. We've just tasted it. I know what's wrong. I need to know what I need to do. The second batch is going to be perfect or near perfect. At the worst, 3 batches, boom, I'm done. I've got my formula for the next 40 years.
Now you can tell me you got slow-mo on that camera.
Yes.
Do you turn the refrigeration on as you're adding the ingredients, or do you turn it on after
You want one?
As soon as I put the dairy product into the machine
What do you
or
do?
the
Where's your
Italian
name
ice,
tag, man?
I turn everything on because nothing is going to freeze for the first 4 or 5 minutes. I have a physicist friend, and we talked about boiling water from cold water to hot water, and he said definitely hot water boils faster. But he said, you know, the old expression, a watch pot never boils. You can have that water on for 9.5 minutes and it's doing nothing. And then all of a sudden, it snaps. Everything else, if you're standing outside and the temperature drop, it gradually drops down into the point where you're saying, hey, I'm getting cold. But not boiling and not freezing. They stay liquid, they do nothing, and then all of a sudden, boom, it just snaps like that. Your water instantly boils. And the same thing with the flavors. So I've got on Italian ices 6-7 minutes to put stuff in. And you'll be a lot faster than that. Ice cream, I've got about 3 minutes, maybe 4. And that's it. So where would I go from here? The machine's contaminated with blueberries and bananas.
He'll probably hit me for saying this. I had an older Emery, obviously. I've been in the business a while. And it used to take me 20 to 30 minutes for a batch. And I came and said, Steve, I want a new Emery, because someone in my class bought mine. And I got a brand new 24, and I called him up the very first day making ice cream and said, something's wrong. He said, what's the matter? I said, I'm making ice cream in 8 minutes. What happened? And that's the new, what did you change?
We
The
changed
refrigerant's
blades.
better.
The refrigerant's better. It went from 22 to 502, but the main thing is the blades. I'll show you.
Amazing. Cut my time 60% making ice cream.
Jeff's
And I
old-
make-
Jeff's
I make
old blades.
100
I'm sorry.
I make 150 gallons a week, and I used to have to make 3-4 days. Now I cut it down 1 or 2 days.
Jeff's blades were made to, by centrifugal force, throw out against the wall and do the scraping action. These are spring-loaded so that they're always going to push against the walls. This thing's about 40...
That's what I dropped on
this is
my
about-
toe.
Not this one.
Ooh.
This is the one you wouldn't have a foot left. This is about 45 pounds of all machined stainless steel. The blades last 5 years. Everybody else's last 4 months. I've got little things on it to hold it because it's spring-loaded. But that's why it's faster, is it scrapes better.
Unbelievable. I thought something was wrong. And the ice cream is better with the newer machine. It's creamier, smoother. It's just changed my life. What are we doing now?
We could answer some questions and then... Or no, your turn.
No, whatever.
You're doing 3 today, so let's do one.
Whatever, I'll do 20.
Go for it.
Okay.
What's the shelf life for the Italian ice?
If I freeze it down to 0, I could keep it for 6 months.
Longer.
Yeah, but the same question comes up all the time. If you've got a product in that freezer that's been in there for 6 months, guess what? Your customers are telling you it's a lousy product. Get rid of it. Nobody wants bubblegum licorice ice cream. It's a terrible flavor. So if it's been sitting there that long, it's technically as good as the day you made it. But if you can't turn that inventory over in a week, that's a horrible flavor. Dump it. Yes?
Can you use essential oils as flavor?
Oh, I can answer that.
I can't.
Okay. one of the people who took my class is, what do they call people like that? Oh, nuts. She's an essential oil person, and she's had the same thought because she was new. She took my class, and she new to it. So I didn't know the answer. So she sent me a whole kit of essential oils. And when they're little bottles. Are you an essential oil nut person?
Not a nut. Don't call it a nut. Hey, you're the one living in Fruit Loops.
That's true. Anyway, they're in little dark glass bottles. And they say things like orange essence and all that stuff. Name some flavors. Lavender.
Lavender's a big ice cream.
Yeah. So I didn't know what to do with it because she didn't know. She just does this. What do you do with them? Put them in those steamy pots and stuff? Right. So a little bottle. So I figured, well, little bottle, you know? It's a little bottle. There's 20 drops in the whole bottle. Right in. And of course, you know you can't do that. The flavor, even on a few drops, is so strong that in my world it doesn't translate to ice cream. If somebody did a study, and I think they must all be different because orange is apparently much stronger than lavender. And what?
Some that are ingestible and some that you can't.
Well, in the world of what is it called? What are they called? The world of essential oils is not. I'm not ready for that world yet. So that probably doesn't answer your question, but.
Yeah, and that's all right. I was wondering whether it would affect the heat if the oil would.
I have no doubt that
not
you
at all.
can translate a quantity to an ice cream batch. I don't know whether it seems too easy for me. You know, just take your mix, add 2 drops of this, and you got ice cream. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think about that? You have your mix, you add 2 drops of something, make ice cream.
You're going to need a lot more.
Well, 3 drops. No, you don't. It's real powerful.
We're gonna
this
make-
stuff. The whole bottle's this big.
If we have time, I'm going to make that ube again for Paula, and that uses an extract that.
It's not extract. It's an
Oh, it's
essential
an
oil.
essential oil. That's right. It's different.
So you want me to do something here?
Go right ahead.
Okay, you got ice cream here.
Yeah, you gotta let it melt.
Okay. Girls, any other questions?
Just add that it would be very expensive.
No, let me clarify that. She said it would be very expensive. The profit in what we're doing, and let's call them all frozen desserts, ices, ice cream, sherbet or cream ice, the profit is so monumental that the difference, how much is a little bottle of essential oils?
Anywhere from $20 to $40.
Let's say 40, the high end. How many drops are in that bottle? 30, 40? More? 50 drops? 60? How many would you say? Let's call it $1 a drop, okay? Just for kicks. $1 a drop. How many drops are you going to use in a batch of ice cream? Not more than this, right? Maybe this? Maybe 20? No, you can't. 5 drops? Maybe. Potent. So $5, right? $5? That's kid stuff. That's kid stuff, $5. A batch in my store, when I make ice cream, a batch is between $40 and $60, including the mix to make. And I got to tell you, I make tons of money. It just doesn't matter. And that's why when you go shopping for product and you go into Walmart and you see Schmem&Ms next to M&Ms, don't get the Schmem&Ms. Get the M&Ms. Butterfinger? No. Buy Butterfinger. Buy the best you can. The difference in we went over all this. We did the numbers yesterday, and the numbers are laughable. Just get the best you can. Number 1 rule, make the best ice cream you can. Bar nothing. Any other questions? Sorry for pontificating.
You're here to pontificate.
Well, I am pontificating.
It's your job.
Okay, I thought, lately I've been on a kick of, we have a coffee bar in our store, a nice 40-foot long cappuccino, espresso, mochas, lattes, all that stuff. And for the flavorings, we have a whole shelf of flavorings. Torani is the one I like, Torani flavorings. So I've been experimenting, and one of our big flavors now at the store is raspberry chip. And it's simply Torani flavoring in the mix and add some chips. It's phenomenal. So I thought today I would try, never did this, cream de mint and make Mystic Mint or mint chocolate chip. And it should simply be mix this, chips, done. And that's the best ice cream because you're going to be making 5 to 7 flavors a day. And each flavor is going to take, with prep time and clean, a half hour. So rather than, 3.5 hours, 2.5 sounds really appealing. 5 sounds not so good anymore, especially when you're going to crank out 150 gallons in a week, hopefully. So let's try this. The mix, we have mix. And by the way, Torani is only one of 3 companies that do these flavorings. They're just really for coffees, I think. But now I'm expanding them into the ice cream. What?
Did you add sugar to the last batch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
A full pound.
Okay. Well, mine was going a little
No, a
crazy.
full pound.
Sorry.
It's, you know what it was? It was the blueberries. They have no taste.
No, they don't.
No taste.
No.
All you got out of that was banana.
They didn't come from Jersey.
Correct. It's the right month, wrong state.
Wrong fruit. Well, I had to buy organic.
So there's 3 companies. There's, I forget the less expensive one. Torani is in the middle, and then there's a company called Monin, M-O-N-I-N. They're the top of the line. But I only had this at my store, so I brought it. I started using some Monin, and we used it yesterday. And it pretty good stuff. Very good stuff, Monin. And the difference is like $1. It's just, who cares? So we'll add, keeps taking, you always have a drip repository there.
Mix.
Haven't I taught you yet?
What?
You always have a drip repository. So.
I go
Yeah,
by no
I.
runs.
See what you get? I.
No runs, no drips, no errors.
That's it. No runs, no drips, no errors. Okay, how much mix are we going to use in this machine? How many? 5, correct. Why are we using 5? Half a batch. These things come, as I said, 10 quarts to I have enough. 10 quarts to a bladder. And they're always, it's all the same wherever you get them. And they come at this neck here, which is resealable. But the proper way to handle it, because they can get a little, unwieldy, is to choke it here. Now, once I take the top off, if I press down, guys, you know what's going to happen, right? Woo, all over the place. So you keep it up and pour in, what do we say? 5. What's the tip on these measuring things, guys? Oh my. Of course, turn it around. If you have the measuring increments here, you're pouring and trying to do this. So just turn it around so you can see it right there. That was like a 30-cent tip, right? That was nothing. And make sure it's back on. This can be frozen. You won't get a delivery every day. You'll get a delivery once a week. And you'll have to order more than you need because you never know. So I used to have it frozen. They would come on Tuesdays and throw a dozen of these into the freezer. I didn't like that, because the night before you're making ice cream, you got to tell the girls, take it out, put it in the tub of water, come in the next morning, and what happens? It's still partially frozen. So getting it out is tenuous. It's not easy. So we have this. Now, I've never made this, so I don't know the quantities. We'll give it a shot. I know that the creme de menthe is stronger than, vanilla or cherry or whatever. So in we go. Uh-oh. What happened? Tell me I can blame it on Steve.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all I needed to hear. It's all, imagine if this wasn't here now. See? It's your... All right, and we have chips too. My normal chip ratio is 1 quart, these are quarts, 1 quart for full batch. So half quart, half batch. However, feeling generous today.
What kind of chocolate chips are they? Are they any particular, are they dark chocolate,
Yeah,
milk chocolate?
these are the best chips. That's what you want to buy. No, really, you saw the chips in my freezer that I said I won't use, right?
Yeah.
Those drops or whatever they were called.
I'm trying to throw you a softball here.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Chips, you can buy junk and you can buy good. I like Hershey's chips. About $55 for a 20-pound box or whatever. Hershey's chips are good. Ghirardelli chips are really good. And the best chips are Hershey's Special Dark chips. Those are over the top. I only use those when I'm making ice cream for special people. All right, so we have five quarts in here. So 5 quarts. And now we want to start it and then add the mint and the chips. This will be a real easy one to do. My thought is that a full batch would take 2 bottles. So this is a half. We'll start with 1 bottle and see what happens. I like my ice cream sweet and full flavored. This will be green because they don't make it in clear, but you know the deal there. And nice color. And we'll add chips. And then we'll taste it.
Yeah, you said that was a half quart of chips.
What's that?
Was that a half quart of chips you just added?
It was about 3/4 of a quart.
You can add a little bit.
Yeah, that's up to you. I think even in my book, it'll say on the bottom chips, and it won't be an amount, because that's your call. My general thing is a full quart to a full batch. So therefore, if you have a CB-350, that's a quarter of a batch. That's 6 quart, I'm 24 quart, so it's a quarter of a batch. So in that, you would add a quarter of a quart of chips as a standard, as a median point. Then you can put in more if you want. Very hard to over chip, isn't it? Whoa, that's good. That's perfect the way it is, but I'll add a little more. What?
If you were to infuse alcohol, at what point would you do that?
Do what?
Infuse alcohol into the ice cream
Right away. Why?
right away? I didn't know whether it made a difference, whether it would affect the freezing of it.
No, alcohol doesn't freeze, as you know. And what's going to happen is picture this. You're asking about infusing alcohol into ice cream. Everything is made of molecules. Right there, Slick, right? Come on, be with me. Everything is made of molecules. Picture molecules as little tiny dots, little pinhead dots, little balls, little balls. So you have alcohol, little balls. They don't freeze. When you add mix, you're going to suspend those alcohol little balls in little balls of mix. The little balls of mix will freeze. So now you have little balls that are freezing and little balls that aren't, and they're commingling. So that's how you do it. But it'll never truly freeze solid, which is good and bad. It's good because the dipping is always smooth as silk. Perfect. You don't have that rock hard chocolate ice cream that you're trying to dig out. So the adult flavors are easy to spoon out. The downside is you always have to keep them, make sure that you're as cold as you can be. -9 in the corner of the freezer, in the bottom, stuff like that. So any other questions? Come on, you're killing me here. That's good. Should we, what do you, yeah, go for it? Really? Okay. Oh, he's ruining it. What? Yes, Richard.
Yes, sir. What do you make Roman raisin ice cream? Rum here, alcohol, the ice cream?
Well, depends. Have you ever made it before?
No.
Well, you'll.
Tastes like this. Tastes like alcohol is in it. There's a request that you have. I don't know if they put what they put in alcohol.
Well, that's a horse of a different color. We'll save that discussion for another day. See me after class. Okay, so there you go. Now, how much are these? $5 a bottle. Now, if you want to do a little quick math, stay with me on this. This ice cream, $5, $10, right? We have 2 bottles, $10. Let's translate it to a full batch, 24-quart machine, because that way this will be universal. How much do we have then? $20, right? In the flavoring, $20. The chocolate chips, $2 more, $3. So we got 23. The mix is going to cost us $24. So what are we up to? 47. Who said that? Good man. $47. Let's round it out to 50. Maybe you want to put some vanilla in, maybe you want to throw more chip, whatever. $50. So this batch costs you $50 to make. How many gallons do we get out of it? We'll get, let's just conservatively say 6. We'll probably get more, closer to 7, but let's say 6. So we have 6 gallons, and we paid $47. How much? $8 a gallon. Close enough? Yep. $8 a gallon. How many ounces in a gallon? 128. 12-ounce servings. How many servings per gallon? Quick? 10. Good. 10 at, let's say you're going to charge $6. $5 for a serving. Let's say $5. So you got $50 that you're going to make on a gallon. What did it cost you? $8. Where in the world can you make money like that? I mean, it doesn't include your rent, your employees, your cups, your straws, your spoons, your water, your electric. Doesn't include that. That's single net. But hell, come on. Nobody makes money like that. Nobody makes money like that. And that was on the expensive side. We added top shelf stuff. If you're going to make, pick a flavor. Give me a flavor.
Grape nut.
What is it?
Grape nut.
Grape nut. A couple of boxes of cereal and you're done, right? Isn't that right? Isn't that a cereal? Grape nut? So you buy 4 boxes of cereal at $5 a box. The big box. $20. Nothing. You can't give me an ice cream that's not going to make you 90% profit like this. It doesn't exist. And then show me a product that has this kind of profit built into it. Doesn't exist. You can sell shoes, you can sell computer chips, you can sell anything you want. The bottom line is this is profit. This is your future for your family. That's what this is. This is a business that you should be in, and you're here, and you should not look back, because I show people how to get into this business for 15 grand. Into business, open your door, $15,000. Of course, yesterday we figured out the average was 35 people have to get into the business. So between $15,000 and $50,000, you're in business, you're opening your door, you got a sign that says ice cream, and guess what? The day after you open that door, you're making money. You're making money. And that next Monday, you're going to go to the bank with a deposit. And there's your future. Simple. Simple business. Right, Johnny?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. So, what are we doing? We're going to see if the ice cream's ready. I didn't put vanilla in. You want to put vanilla in? We can do that. I don't care. It ain't my vanilla. How much vanilla? 5. Now, we'll try it. Now we added 2 bottles and vanilla. No holding us back here. This is so silly. This business is ridiculous. It's made for morons, and none of you are morons. But just think of the potential. Is that your daughter? Wouldn't it be great? Start the business. 5 years later, you're kicking on the beach in Daytona. She's running the business, and you're making money. And then one day she gets married. Her kids are in the business. It just doesn't stop. And I'll tell you why it doesn't stop. 2 words. 2 words. Ice cream. The whole world likes ice cream. Everybody. Little babies, older people, Nigeria, California, Alaska, Central America. You can't go anywhere. Ice cream, and they won't open your door. Ice cream. Doesn't matter what you call it. Sue's ice cream, Fred's ice cream, they're going to come in. Your job is to keep them coming back and get their friends in. But I have an answer for that too. Don't I? Too soft. Okay, questions? Don't get me started. It's a great business. If I had only discovered this business when I graduated college in 1971, you wouldn't know Ben, you'd know Jeff and Jerry. Because this is simple. And college, I told my son, you don't need college. Just come along with me for this ride, and you'll be set. I'm sorry, I'm pontificating again.
No, go right ahead. Sam.
What? No. Do they ever? No. Computer software. He works for ExxonMobil. You know, see, why did he get into this business? Profit, artistic, and the big one, fun. This is a blast, this business. It's a no-brainer. And you learn how to do it in one day. I'll teach you how to make the best ice cream in the world. True or false? True. One day. One day, talk in the morning, work in the afternoon, and by that night, you'll have made the best ice cream in the world. Hands on, you will make it. And then the next day, what? Yeah, you'll be abused a little bit. Well, when you act like you, he was putting the mix in the machine. Now, you can't lose focus. That's the key to it. You can't be on the phone. You can't be watching TV. When you're making ice cream, focus. Because what happened yesterday, and it was right after we spoke about it, he's pouring the mix in the machine, and then for a second, not even a second, he lost focus, and it was all over. And he lost focus because the conversations were going on around him, and he went, well, you know, oh, and that was it, all over. So it's focus. But hell, who cares? What else? It's so easy, we can talk.
Do you think the syrup is keeping it from freezing quickly? Do you think all that syrup is keeping it from freezing?
Oh, great question. Great question. Heidi asked, does all the ingredients, let's call them, vary the freezing time? And yes, the one rule of thumb is the more sugar, and sugar can be honey, it can be sugar, it can be these syrups, whatever it is, the more of it, the longer it takes to freeze. I make a honey vanilla. Vanilla takes no time to freeze. You can make a batch of vanilla in 6 minutes, but add 40 ounces of honey, which is what my recipe calls for. 40 ounces of honey, now you're looking at 13 minutes, just because of the sweetness. I don't understand it, it's a chemical deal, but he probably knows. Okay, we're there. Soft serve isn't food. Soft serve is this. It's garbage. Okay. You ever go into a soft serve place or frozen yogurt, the taps are on the wall, and then you walk along and then you get to the end and you add the stuff and then they weigh it and then you eat it. So what you're getting is basically vanilla, let's call it ice cream, it's not ice cream, vanilla ice cream with Snicker bars on top. That's, who cares, that's junk. We made Snickers ice cream Monday. We used 48 Snickers bars. You know those boxes, 48 bars in our ice cream infused into the ice cream. Now what you're eating is Snickers ice cream. Forget this bars junk thrown on. You're eating Snickers ice cream. And we're going to do that this afternoon with Butterfinger. I'm going to make Butterfinger, but not pieces of Butterfinger candy bar in ice cream.
Make sure Steve doesn't bring some Butterfinger.
He likes those Butterfingers. Okay, let's see what we got. Looks like mint chocolate chip. Actually, it looks like what mint chocolate chip used to look like. Now it's white, right? Okay, well, do you want to try some or you've had enough ice cream? Oh, come on, Marilyn. Marilyn, you be the first. Hang on, Johnny. Marilyn's got to be the first.
I just tried you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you.
Okay.
Wow. That tastes really good. You would
Why?
never even know.
Why on earth do you sound surprised?
I don't know, because I'm looking at that green stuff in the bottom. I'm kind of like, what?
Uh-huh. Philip?
Yes, sir.
Hey, how come one L in your name?
That's the way they spelt it.
Most of them have two, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I meant to ask you that, but I didn't want to offend you. You know, being what you know.
Oh, it's a surprise.
Kim?
Thank you.
Richard. Yeah, man. Randy, of course, one of my favorites, who made us go over on Monday. 8 o'clock I got home, which is highly unusual.
Ever so little bit.
Ever so little.
just going a little.
Bob? Come on, Bob.
That's okay. I'm just going for tastes. Perfect. Thank you so much.
And Greg. And are we done? Everybody's, wow. Oh, you don't eat this stuff? What the hell are you doing here? You don't like mint? Do me a favor. Just take a spoonful of his. Okay. Hey. That'll do. Ooh, that'll do. That's good. This has a good follow. You know, it has a good follow. I tasted it and I said, oh, that's pretty good. But then 3 seconds later, it got very good. How do they do that? What is that? What's the deal there? You have better taste buds down the gullet or something?
How is it?
What? It's good, but how come some things have a better follow? You know what I mean by that?
No, I don't.
How do you explain that? It tastes good when you taste it, but the aftertaste is really good. And that's what I find with this.
Is that the alcohol?
No alcohol.
Oh, that's a good thing. Probably because it's like what is the product you call it?
Tarani.
And what do you use it for normally?
Mm-hmm.
Please, sir. I want some more.
Jeff, I have an answer for that. It's because of mint and vapor.
Ah, that makes
You know, like
sense.
you take a cough drop, you put it in your mouth, and vapor, as soon as you know.
Oh, the mint.
Yes.
Oh, good. That's good, Johnny.
That's good. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You have a management decision to make.
Oh boy.
Do you want to sit down for this?
Oh boy. That now it really sounds. Oh boy. Okay, hang on.
From simple beginnings to executive decisions.
Go ahead.
All because of ice cream.
Go
And
ahead.
sitting in the back there.
What?
No, this all came about
Right,
that you're now
okay.
a big CEO. This is a tough choice. Do you want to sit down and answer more questions, or do you want to break for lunch? You're still hungry? Oh,
It's her. She can eat. She can out eat anybody here.
all right. I'm seeing a lot of smiles for lunch, and I'm seeing frowns for answering questions.
Well, why don't we do lunch and casual question and answer?
Okay.
How's that?
All right. We'll do lunch. We're gonna
Rather
set
than
it up on-
structured
Oh,
question and answer.
and another one for you. See how we have new
Yeah, what's
literature?
up with that?
Well, this one, Crystal put together for me. The New York Post, our favorite newspaper, did a fake article on Kim Jong-un coming to New York City. And so this is an actor, but it looks exactly like him. And they've got him, and so you can read it and see it. He's got the I Love New York shirt. He's got the nuclear button, his nuclear
Kim
button.
loves Nuke York.
Yes, he's got his nuclear button, and he's standing in front of Trump Tower. There's all sorts of great stuff. So I had Andy arrange it like this, but I said, I got to talk to Jeff because his sign is getting a little ratty looking. So how about we take those two down and put that up? Isn't that nice?
Very nice.
You don't mind? I can have this?
No.
We'll make the change. I'll put this
What's
where
your
it's safe.
cut?
No. It's free.
Right. You know what this tastes like? Because of that thing, John, this tastes like more. It's really easy.
To keep you eating.
Yeah, it's real easy to eat this stuff. Creamy.
I like it.
And later we'll make Butterfingers. It's freezing right now. I put the bag of Butterfingers in there to freeze, which is essential. When we go into it, you'll see.
You put the vodka in there, turn it into a grasshopper.
Is my mic on?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
How about me, Jack?
You're on.
Oh, darn. Okay, good enough. Italian ice, without dairy, there isn't much air. So it's really not a factor in making sugar water Italian ice. When we get into dairy-free with coconut, the coconut helps build up a little bit of air. But dairy products are fat cells, and they expand with a lot of air. And so, as I said earlier this morning, you can have either a birthday cake type ice cream, which is very light and delicious, or you can have a very heavy ice cream like Haagen-Dazs or a pound cake, which is very dense. And it really depends on what you want to sell. And by the way, you don't see any Haagen-Dazs stores anymore, and you're not seeing many Ben & Jerry stores either. It's fading away because although people like to talk about air as if it's something critical to the taste, it's a factor, but it's only part of air, fat, and flavor, with flavor being the most important. So those ice cream parlors, they were serving a 4-ounce portion for $3 or $4 that was so dense, kind of like nuclear waste. It's incredibly dense. It was so dense that it would fall to the bottom of the cone. It was still 4 ounces, whereas a high air content product is going to be falling off the cone. And you want to hit a balance in between there. Nowadays, people have gone even further. They're going more Jeff's direction, and they're not sticking to, say, 1 scoop is 4 ounces, 2 scoops is 8 ounces. Jeff gives a big portion. And I've heard other customers, other stores say, we sell a big portion and people come to us, we cost more, but they feel like they got their money's worth. Nobody wants to feel like they got cheated because it's just, so little.
The cheapest product. Your product.
Yes.
The cheapest thing in your whole store is the product.
That's right. Your labor is, much higher and everything else. So we're going to go on to the next flavor. I have to run get it. I'll be right back.
We're going to do more? We're going to give them more for nothing?
More for the money.
Now, we had a girl in our class Alisa. She has in her mind to open a store she lives on Long Island with the soccer moms and the SUVs and the Range Rovers and, she has in her mind to open a store that will cater to those people. Fancy counters, big dipping cabinet, all the latest. And she's going to open a store that's going to cost her about $90,000. And when will she start making money? If she doesn't go out of business? 2 years? Because she's got to pay that 90 grand back. It's such a simple business. What do we got? Avocados. I can't wait.
Now, you're going to be surprised, folks. This is good. I call it, this is Paula's avocado because she really loves this. So this is backed by popular demand, and I just wanted to show you don't have to stick to vanilla, chocolate, strawberry. You can venture out and do some more exotic flavors. So,
Where are they from? Florida.
Florida.
Now, what does this mean? Low-cal avocado.
I have no idea.
Low-cal avocado.
If you only eat one, it's not
These are
fattening.
good for you.
Yeah, I know they are. That's why we're going to do it.
You know how to do those?
No. And do you want to put them in the blender?
Well, you know how to take the pit out and stuff?
Yeah, you cut it in half and
then hit the pit and pull it out?
haven't done that. I just pop it out with a fork or a knife. So, depending on the size, 6 to 7 avocados, 3.5 quarts of mix, a little bit of lemon juice, and that's it.
And you don't have to
Very
put these in
simple.
the Ninja. These are soft.
Okay.
They'll go right in the machine.
Yeah, I bought these days ago. So let me get the mix in. Again, close the gate on the machine because I left it open. And I will measure out.
You have a spoon, right? You use this?
Yeah, that's good. I'll measure
How many? All of them?
Yeah, I may even use more. What do you think? I got lots of them.
Oh, they have no flavor anyway. You can use all you want.
Okay.
Really? You know they have no flavor. Do you ever taste this?
Yeah, I think they have flavor.
Yeah, taste it.
But no, I know what it tastes like.
Has no taste. Avocado's no taste.
I disagree. You'll see when it's made.
Okay.
We're also going to add a little bit of sugar to this.
Now you can grow these things grow like crazy. You want to save one or two?
No.
Paula will grow them?
No, I've got enough mowing to do without growing more
Rose
things.
grows these. I'm going to take these.
All right. You take them. Let's see. The mix. We had to get the mix.
I got it there. Oh, you need more?
You used it, didn't you?
Right there.
Oh, it is here. Okay.
So dairy blend is different than ice cream blend?
Dairy blend is different.
Same
than
thing. Yeah, it's just terminology.
Yes. What should we put this stuff in? Oh, I know what I'll put it in a gelato tray. How's that?
Okay.
Anybody want a pit?
Now, are
An
you going to
avocado
add,
tree.
would you add any vanilla to this?
Absolutely.
Okay. Just like vanilla ice cream? That much?
One per, yeah.
Okay.
One per year. So you want this, right? You want,
Yeah.
okay. I'm going to put it in here.
Well, you know what? I'll just do it in front of the machine.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
easier.
Good.
One little trick with these bags, and it's going to sound trivial, especially to a millionaire like Jeff, but if you have it upside down like that, you're going to keep getting mixed, but you can't stand here for a whole day. So you turn these upside down and put them into a container, and they will drain. And if you do this all day long, do you do this?
You're kidding, right?
You invented it. Tell them how you do
You know
it.
how much is in here?
Yeah. No,
Half
you
an
don't do
ounce?
it?
Half an ounce?
Yeah.
Over a year. This is the over a year trick, you know. Over a year, you know, you could save $8.
Not everybody is as good at getting the bag empty as others. If you put it upside down, by the end of the day, you'll be surprised how much mix you have. He's the guy who says you don't need a hardening cabinet or a dipping cabinet either. So I'm going to pour this in.
Oh, why don't you ask him? Kim, why don't you ask him? Just for kicks, you know, while he's doing nothing now?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Why do you like dipping cabinets?
Why do I like dipping cabinets? Because unlike Jeff's business, where he has nothing else to do in life, you're not going to spend all day making ice cream every single day. If you do, you're not going to have time for anything else. You'll never be able to expand the business. You barely have time to run QuickBooks to take care of your employees because you're always filling that monster chest freezer. And that chest freezer, if the ice cream sits overnight, is going to harden up on you, and you're going to have to, do something with it. But you have no inventory. That's the main thing.
Whoa, whoa,
That
whoa,
over
whoa,
there-
whoa, whoa, hold
let me-
on.
She asked me. I get to finish the question. That thing over there is a hardening cabinet that I built for myself. I'm not saying you have to have a hardening cabinet, but you're going to end up there too. Because in any business, I saw this, in my business, let's say, I have 40 machines to build right now. If I bring in a sheet of stainless steel today and build a machine, and then tomorrow I get another delivery of stainless steel, and the next day I get a stainless steel, can you imagine how much time and effort is going to go into that, unloading a sheet a day? I buy 2 tractor-trailer loads of stainless steel every week. And
Why
it's
do you
nice
need a
and-
dipping cabinet?
and-
That's the question.
I'm
Why?
getting there.
Okay.
And the reason I do that is because I'm going to build up a panel at our factory across the street. I'm going to build up an inventory of panels for the machine and other components for the machine, so that when we go to build them, we can put up a run of 10 machines, and bang, 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 we've got all the panels. That's the same with a dipping cabinet. You're building up an inventory of ice cream in your store with the hardening cabinet. I don't have just 1 or 2 tubs of vanilla. I've got 10 tubs of vanilla. If it was my store, I made ice cream today. I won't make it again till Friday or Saturday. Jeff is having to make it on a more often basis. And did he tell you how many of those he has? He has 11.
No, I have 13.
13 of them. Can you imagine, anybody in business, anybody have an electric meter in their home? Can you imagine 13 of those 110 volt going like this on your electric meter?
Wrong.
I mean, his electric bill is insane.
Let's go
If
back
he
to the dipping
I'm not
cabinets.
finished.
Okay.
I'm not finished. If he had one of those, a hardening cabinet, he would then have an inventory. He would make ice cream for 5 or 10 days or 3 days, whatever your volume is. And it would be there, and as good as the second you made it, because it's at 30 below zero. He would then pull it out the night before, put some of it into that cabinet and some of it into the dipping cabinet. So he's got an inventory of ice cream. The 30 below, 0, 6 above. 30 below tonight gets moved, depending on the weather. It's going to be a nice weekend, let's say. Take 6 tubs out of there. Maybe we put 4 over there, bringing it up from 30 below to plus 0. Bring over 2 there to bring it up to plus 6. I now have enough ice cream over there to last me till 2 in
That's
the
not
afternoon.
confusing at all.
It has enough ice cream to last till 2 in the afternoon. And then at 2 in the afternoon, I'm going to bring up, these are double-decker. I've finished the first tub. Now I'm going to bring up the second tub. And that's going to take us to about 6 o'clock tonight. What about from 6 till 11? I get another tub out of there and bring it over here. So I'm always rotating my inventory. With Jeff's way of using, when he had 1 dipping cabinet, or when he had 2 dipping cabinets, he was making ice cream day and night. every single day because he had no place to put it. Now he's running 11 of them. If you have a dipping cabinet, you have an easy place to serve it because he's only open again. Another thing that's different about him, 6 till 10 at night, or is it 11?
But I see,
He's only open 6 to 10. You're going to be open from 11 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, most likely, if you're an ice cream parlor. And you keep ice cream in there for all those hours, it's going to harden up. There's just no way it isn't because it's set at 0. That's the case. If you don't believe me now, call me back in a year and see if you don't have a dipping cabinet because he is wrong. And with that said, I'm going to continue
Okay.
making this, and you can rebut.
Well, we
after I
should
get this.
talk a little.
Well, we've done this now for what, 7 years?
I have a question. Have you been to his shop?
No,
No,
no.
that's right. I haven't been to the moon either, but I do know that there's very little gravity on it. So don't give me that argument. I'm from the 60s. I didn't have to be in the military to know what it was like. That's an old argument. Let's make this going because we're going to run out of time, and I'm stonewalling them. The vanilla.
Okay. Did you
Okay.
put the mix in the machine?
Yes, I did.
How much?
How
much mix did you put in?
3.5 quarts. 3.5 quarts.
Okay.
Okay.
Is the only
So
ingredient
3.
this?
Yeah. And
Really?
sugar. Trust me.
Okay.
Trust me. This is not an overwhelming formula like your sugary ones.
Right.
This is much more delicate.
Veggie.
Yes, veggie. Not everything is pure sugar.
So, Kim, what do you think?
She's confused. Well, and also go to every other ice cream parlor in America and see what they do. Salt and Straw, Molly Moon,
All the
Afters.
dinosaurs died one day too, didn't they?
These are all up and coming stores that have 15 stores and they're doing phenomenally.
They all.
They're all amazing what they're doing.
Remember, common sense wins every day.
That's why this is right. 3.
1 per quart.
Yeah. Okay, so unlike Jeff, I'm going to turn this on and start freezing it. So I'm going to pick
Wait a
super
minute, I
premium.
want that
So-
unlike Jeff out of your vocabulary.
Okay, now see, it's turning. It's going to build up air if I let it turn. I'm going to turn on the refrigeration and I'm in business. So now I'm going to go over here and start adding the avocados. This could get messy. In fact, I'll fix that. All right. You can ask questions while I'm doing this.
You know what it would be like? It would be like me going in the back in the factory and asking one of the guys, how can you stack the vertical sheets of steel against this thing here? Why don't you just lay them flat? Be the same thing.
I don't
Steve
even,
makes the best machine in the world. Doesn't sell ice cream.
No, but I've got 37,000 customers who do, each employing about 11 people. So I've got a lot of people
And
who
one day,
rely on
all
what I
those
say.
dinosaurs disappeared.
No, they don't. Okay, so this is all that's in here is vanilla and avocado. So this is not going to be a heavy, sugary tasting dessert, though I'm going to add a little sugar. Could I have
How much sugar?
3/4 of a cup? Roughly.
Okay.
Just wing it. No, I've decided at the last minute to add it. See, this is what I do when I'm experimenting with a flavor. I remembered back to when I made this, and I thought I would like to have a little more body than just the avocado. Sugar doesn't just make things sweet. The 3/4 of a cup of sugar I put in isn't going to make it sweeter at all. It is going to enhance the flavor of what it's going with.
Would honey do better?
Honey
would be great.
Honey would be great. And while we're talking
Well,
about
we
that,
have
because-
some honey.
Yeah, because Jeff is not always wrong. I wanted to make a product with. No, you can't use this.
Why?
I'm going to tell the story because Jeff made something with honey, and I said that's great. And so I went out and bought Walmart's
Fake
very
honey.
low. No, it's real.
Shmoney.
It's the lowest priced honey you can buy on the face of the earth. It was the most awful product you've ever tasted, and that's when I found out that there is a difference in honey. Not like sugar. Sugar's sugar, but honey. That sounds like a song. Sugar, sugar, honey, honey.
Sugar, sugar, honey, honey. The Archies.
The Archies, yes. So honey, if you buy great honey, you'll have a great product.
You know, honey is the only food on the planet that doesn't spoil. Honey is the only food on the planet that doesn't spoil.
And maple syrup.
And what?
Maple syrup. Because
Yeah?
they both have super high sugar content.
CB.
Oh, no, it's more, it ought to
Smell
say, oh, it's awful.
Smells like trash can, doesn't it?
Yeah, it ought to be called Sumi.
Now we could add this. Grandma's molasses. Want to add some of this?
Did you hear about the new restaurant in New York? It's Japanese and Jewish. It's called Sosumi.
So sue me. Organic brown rice syrup. No.
Ah, Sammy. I knew that was going to happen.
Want to add some root beer to it just for a kick?
Did you get me the sugar?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
No.
Oh.
I dried the container though.
Okay. It may be too late.
No, it's not too late.
Thank you.
I got it.
Not yet.
Too
now,
late, but not yet.
yeah, I have. You can come over if you wouldn't mind.
What?
If you can help me. I have gone so far into the batch now that to add the extra ingredient, it's all filled up to the top. So I'm going to make a momentary gap here. I'm going to take a little mix out. It's going to make a gap, and when it does, you can take that off. Jeff will pour in the sugar, and it'll go throughout the whole machine. So when you're ready,
Go ahead.
you got the sugar?
No, go ahead.
No, you got to do it right away. The word is momentary. So I'm going to teach you about your machine. Go. See? All right.
Take some more. You can take a gallon out. It's all right.
See how it makes a little tiny gap real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'll let that mix through. And then I can pour some of this back in or use it later.
What about this?
I don't know that I can get any more in there.
Oh, okay.
I've got it jammed, packed.
Okay. Where did you get the recipe?
I made it up
And the question begs, why?
because Paula liked it.
Ah.
And Paula's my wife and office manager.
no, you don't have
And
to
if they
explain
want their
further.
machines shipped, you got to keep
Right.
Paula happy.
Did you add your lemon juice?
No.
You should.
Yeah.
Where is it? You have lemon juice
We have lemons.
or lime?
We have a bag of lemons.
Lime would be good.
I don't know why. Let me look for the bag of
Oh,
lemons.
I put the bag of lemons in there. Avocado ice cream. Wait a minute. Let me do this first. But I got a pit out of it. What? Yeah, we have trees in the backyard. Eek. What? We added the vanilla. But, look at this mess here.
Well, I'm going to clean it up.
Oh. What do you got, lemon?
These are these organic lemons. They have extra thick skin.
Oh, coconut chips.
You could add coconut chips. That goes well with it.
I still think root beer would be.
What are you going to be making next?
Butterfinger.
Okay,
Why?
that sounds good.
I don't know. How could it be bad?
Yeah.
They're freezing in the big freezer there.
Yes, I saw.
Yes, sir.
On the shelf behind you, there are gallons of flavors. Would you use any of those? And when
You're throwing me a softball again, aren't you?
try?
No, I don't use any of that. What I came up with was to make ice cream as friendly to our childhood as we can. When we grew up with Chunkies, remember Chunky? And Yoo-Hoos and chocolate chip cookies. That's all that stuff we grew up with. So when I make ice cream, I go to the supermarket and I walk down the aisles and I look and that would make good ice cream, that would make good ice cream. That's what I use. But you knew that. To Steve's credit, when I first started here, these shelves were lined with cans of, well, how do you call them? What are they called? The
Number
stuff?
10 tins.
Yeah, of what though?
Gloppy, heavy strawberries, blueberries, peaches, you name it.
But
And if there's
mostly
anything left, it's
artificial
because I
stuff,
haven't thrown
right?
them out yet.
All artificial stuff.
All artificial.
Coloring added and flavoring added, and
Yeah.
basically a mucus-like substance with flavoring and coloring. That's
That
really
sounds
what
pretty
it is.
disgusting. You had to throw in the mucus.
Yeah. Well, it's phlegmy. No, that's
Phlegmy.
just as bad, right? A viscous.
I know.
Well, why don't we take some out? Who cares?
All right. I think we've overloaded it.
No big deal. And then when we're done, we'll just make this.
All right.
Now get a little thing for here.
What?
What? See? What? A little repository. No, get a dish, a bowl. That's it. There, working smart, man. You don't want this last piece of lemon, huh?
No.
Now that we have room, why don't you? Boy, look at that.
Well, we
I'll
better
try
check
that.
it. Now it's freezing.
Why don't we taste it?
I'm afraid to. I think there's not enough avocado in it. You see what I got to contend with him?
Truth be
Gee.
known, it ain't half bad, Steve.
Oh, you're lying.
Truth be known, it ain't half bad.
Yeah, he's going to then say it ain't half good either.
No, try it. Here's
All
a
right,
clean,
we're gonna
clean,
turn
clean
this off.
spoon. It ain't half bad. Cereal in the morning, vegetables in the afternoon, we're good to go.
May I have a spatula, please? See, it was really getting stiff in there. It was just what was up front. All right. I think I call it we create, you decide. Okay. All right, who wants to come up and try it? Everybody.
Look at you. It's not half bad.
This one is increased.
Oh, Johnny, live a little.
This one's
For what you paid for today,
Wait a minute, I thought it was free.
whatever.
you should have yours in the shell. Only one person gets that.
I'll take it.
I'm giving you a little. If you want more, just come on up.
Yeah, just I can't keep eating.
Two, huh? She won't go for mint, but she'll eat the avocado.
Even less than that. Please. There you go. Perfect. Thank you.
Coward.
No, I just can't keep eating like this. I had a bakery one time. You just can't keep eating bread all the time.
That's true.
I love avocado, but I don't know about that.
Do you have
It ain't half bad.
videos or seminar to
I
show?
added
So once
much
you
more
order a
sugar than
machine,
here.
how to
You haven't been to my website?
I've been to your website.
It's 331
No, I mean, I
videos.
know there's one, but I'm specifically designed for when you buy your machine and how to set it up. And
Yeah, I'll go to the help desk. And
You know what we
also give
discovered?
you an instruction book that's this thick, that's actually readable with pictures.
Okay.
And so it really explains everything.
Someone in the class showed me that on your site, there's an index of all the videos
That's right.
by flavor and by
flavor
topic.
and by topic and by machine.
Unbelievable! It was great.
Yeah.
You have a license for that?
No, Steve got it. He's all right.
I'm cool.
Oh, dig it, baby!
We already now have a Russian
Far
working
out.
for us, so I'm already colluding.
Colluding.
Can you imagine my accounts receivable now? She has two guys from Brighton Beach, the Russian mafia. I've got my guys from Brooklyn. No thanks. I mean, nobody's going to help us anything. Yes.
This like
Excuse me.
up and down means the speed, right?
Yes. Yeah, you can raise it or lower it if you wanted to.
Higher, it would make it quicker.
No, it's for ice cream. You're just going to run it. You're going to go to Italian ice.
Not
Hit
well.
start.
You know what? It's
That's it.
closer
That's
to
it.
That's all
vanilla
you
than
have
to
to do.
avocado.
Like a medium speed.
It's a full speed.
Those chunks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I never found avocado have any taste. No. Let me tell you something. I put avocado ice cream
There
up
you go,
on my
Patty,
board.
Special for you.
Never will sell it. If I called it, green grass of home, I might sell a few. But avocado ice cream, they're walking right by that.
I would walk right by it, but I just had some. It's pretty good.
By the way, notice the color? What color is that? Beige, right? Off-white. Every ice cream. We're going to make Butterfinger. You know what color it'll be? Beige.
So Jeff, in the natural heat color, you do that.
No, Jeff's not that enlightened.
Yeah, I'm eating this, aren't
Yes, I take it back. You are getting more enlightened. Jeff used to be a liberal until he started making money. Now he's more conservative than me. Yes, it does.
I? Put something under there.
You're next. Where did I put my... Now, I'm just reloading it.
What do you mean? Oh, with that. Okay.
Yeah, you go right ahead.
Okay, I'm going to give it a rinse.
Okay.
All right, so last time we made mint, so I thought I would... Come on. So I thought I would rinse the machine. Do you have one more, Steve, or not?
Yes and no. I have one more I could make real fast.
Oh, I mean, I don't care. I'm making...
You have the last one? You have one
This
more?
is my last one.
Okay, go right ahead.
Remember I told you I still go to the
Yes, I
supermarket
know.
and
Hi,
buy
sweetie.
stuff? Well, when you go down the candy aisle, there's no end to the ice cream possibilities there. M&M's, Snickers, Milky Way, Three Musketeers, Kit Kat, Payday, Butterfingers, candy bars up the wazoo, and they're all great ice creams. So in my book, I give you the universal way to do this. When I first started, I was like you. I didn't know. So I used to take Milky Way bars, put them on the stove under a very low simmer in a huge pot, and after 4 hours, I would be stirring the melted Milky Way bars. And then I would take it off the burner, let it cool slightly, and add it to the mix with a hand blender thing. And then the next day it would be cool and I could make ice cream. It tasted great, but I ain't doing that. So I came up with a way to make amazing ice cream out of any candy bar. You can't, I mean, one of our big sellers is Payday. You ever eat a Payday? Peanuts wrapped around caramel, great stuff. So today we'll make Butterfinger. We'll make Butterfinger. You know why Butterfinger? Because I had a bag laying around. You know, it could have been Heath Bar. It could have been Clark Bar. They still make Clark Bars? No? What I'm looking for are Chunky. Remember Chunky? Yeah, a square. Oh boy, with raisins and peanuts. The milk chocolate was great, but I can't. Do they still make Chunky? What a chunk of chocolate?
I don't know.
They do? Who said that? You did? If anybody's looking for a place to get bulk candy to make ice cream, I found Bob's Candies in Bayside, Queens is pretty good. He doesn't kill you on the shipping, and he'll send you the real deal. It's not, you know, Milky Way. It's the real stuff. All right, let's see if they're ready yet.
Hey, Jack. Will you zoom in on the CB-350?
They're good enough. Yeah. So Butterfinger. We have more mix.
I can get you more mix. Let me just finish getting the rest of this avocado out.
Yeah? You know, I bet they're not the same, though. Not. I'm going to give him a Joe Pesci on that. Watch. Watch. A Joe Pesci.
Yeah, I know. I told you so. Well, that
Remember
little
that
bowl
scene?
you gave, that little
In front
bowl
of
you
the
gave, you
judge,
wouldn't have held
my
it.
cousin Vinny, when he proves that, and those things in there, what are they? Bushes, that's right, and that stuff on the screen, mud and leaves. I got no further use for this witness. Here's a trick. Get the last of the stuff out after you've gotten the stuff out. Was that a look of disdain? I saw that look. Where's the bowl? Where's the repository?
I'm done.
You're dripping. Where's the repository?
The fan motors blew it off.
So you usually just rinse the water between, you don't go through the stereo change.
When you start making ice cream in the beginning of the day, you'll put your cards. All your formulas will be in a card. They should be in a card box, laminated. This one isn't because I never made it before until today, so it's not laminated. But they'll be laminated in a file box alphabetically. When you start the day, you'll go and you'll look at your inventory, what you need to make. Let's say it's 5 flavors. And you'll put them down on the table in the order that is most easy for continuance of production. Continuance of production? Give me a break. Steve bases it on dark to light.
No, light to dark.
Light to dark. I don't do that. I base it on ingredients within the product. I don't want raisins in my chocolate chip. So that would come after. Snickers, I don't want that in my honey vanilla. So I base them not on color, but on content. That sounds like Martin Luther King, doesn't it?
Yeah. We knew Martin Luther King, and you're no Martin Luther King.
Okay, so Butterfinger, have the mix yet?
Let's put it in the deep freeze. It's because that's not cold enough.
This is 3 pounds of crushed Butterfinger, what somebody called floor sweepings before, what they used to throw away. Somebody said, wait a minute. And they gave that person a great big raise. We have mix?
Hey, Jeff, since we have a back freezer, the Emery Thompson machine, spatulas today, and that, why do we have a refrigerator in here? Why do we have to take the bar out?
He keeps it in the other room. It's one of the essentials that I wrote on the list, wasn't it? A refrigerator. Hey. Okay. All right, let's make...
One gentleman asked about running the infinite overrun control. Again, it's really simple. The ET logo is up there. You just hit begin, and it gives you a list of different products that you want to make. This says homemade ice cream, super premium, Italian ice, gelato, frozen yogurt. Go to next. Cream ice, frozen custard, sorbet, sorbetto, sherbet, frozen lemonade. So if I want to make frozen lemonade, I hit frozen lemonade and hit start, and it will now go to the speed that I want to run frozen lemonade at 234 RPM. A lot of people call up and say, what's your RPM for this, for gelato? And they're trying to compare us to another machine. I said, it doesn't make any difference at all. It's like trying to compare a Porsche to a Volkswagen. It depends on the size of the engine and the size of the barrel and the dasher and everything else. So speed doesn't mean anything in comparison to someone else because nobody else has this, just us. But the speed is what I have selected over the years. I've had it since, I think, whatever 14 years is. How'd you get out? We have a runaway again. You can adjust the speed here that simply, and then if you wanted to take it lower, you can also do it by manual, or if you're running at a low speed and you're ready to get the rest of the product out, you just tap it up, and that's it. Comes standard on the machine. It's not optional, it's standard. Someone got in here. Someone left the gate open again. Sammy, here. Sit. Down. And that's the extent of what our $3,000 in training got us. Isn't that right? You're a good girl. Thank you. Okay, go with Paula. Go on.
Yay! You know, in my store lately, I see all sorts of service animals.
Watch it. There is a lady here with a genuine service animal.
Service animals.
Yeah.
Used to be service animals, German Shepherd on a short leash with the harness on it.
Mm-hmm.
Now a service animal is a little Chihuahua in a stroller.
Yeah, that's unfortunately true.
Yeah, and you know why? They're legal, and it's because now service includes emotional instability.
Not for a true service dog, because we tried to do that.
They have a certificate.
Yeah, that can be bought.
Yeah, I know. I can't throw them out, though.
Now, if they buy ice cream, what do you care?
Because they got dogs. You know, it's like kids.
Yeah, I know. They're welcome, but they have to stay in the car. I think it's actually, he's got a brilliant idea myself. Bring all the kids you want. They just got to stay in the car.
On a hot day with the windows up.
No. No, and leave them the keys. They
Oh,
love
come on.
to...
It was a joke. Normally with...
What did you say, Jack? The FBI's coming in?
Normally with, let's say, give me another candy bar, quick.
Baby Ruth.
Baby Ruth. Let's say Baby Ruth, you want to make Baby Ruth ice cream. So sometimes you can't buy them like this. So what we're going to do is pulverize them in the Ninja. However, I'm looking at I was going to do that with this. That's why I stuck them in the freezer. But this looks pretty smashed up. So let's just try using it like this. All right? What do you care? It's free. It's ice cream. Who cares, right? So
I'm going to pass these out to you all. This is a great resource that I have for you.
how much you add
Pass
depends
those.
upon you. When we made
so?
Snickers, we made a
I have
full
more if you run
batch,
out.
and we used 6 quarts of Snickers, which is 48 bars. Wow, that's a lot of money. That's $27 for that box of bars. Who cares, right? I mean, you're getting 7 gallons of Snickers ice cream. So we're going to pour these in here. You all right?
Did you get all your mix?
Yeah,
Is there any left?
yeah.
Thanks.
What?
Jeff, do you want the refrigeration on?
Not yet.
To make some of the like when it comes out, like you was doing.
Oh, yeah.
Does it matter?
Well, if it matters to you, it matters. The question was, shouldn't you save some and add them as it's being extracted? And if that's what you want to do, be my guest. When I opened up my ice cream store, I wanted 2 things. To me, ice cream is dessert. And I wanted 2 things. I wanted sweet and flavorful. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care about crunchies. I want sweet and flavorful. And our ice creams are that. Now I have should I tell them the invention? No, you can't do that. Someone will invent it, right?
Standing right behind you.
Right. Never mind.
What?
No, no.
I wasn't listening.
Like hell you weren't listening. The reason no refrigerant is because, you got that?
Yeah.
Is-
Someday.
Is because I want to mix this as really thoroughly as I can before, you got it?
Yeah.
Before it freezes. Oh look, these are those essences that you talked about. No, it isn't. What is this?
This is ube.
You forgot the BY. Ooh, baby. Ube. What is ube?
Ube is a sweet potato that is purple in color, comes from Japan and Indonesia. And they've thrown me a loop on this because it said, be careful to remove the desiccant, or as they
what?
call it, do not eat the oxygen. Do not eat the oxygen scavenger that is contained in this package. Hello there.
You just made a lot of customers here.
You know what a desiccant is? It's that
So there's little
packet.
bugs in there.
It's that little packet that says drying agent.
Oh, silicon?
Yeah, but they've gone and put one in this package, and now I've got to pour it in here without dropping the package in.
It's in there.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Well, drop it in, then fish it out.
I'd rather not. That's what I would do if no one was watching. So I'm going to do it this way.
I got to hand it to you, Steve. You come up with some weird ice cream.
Thank you. We're doing 2 at once because it's getting near Jeff's nap time, and I don't want to keep him here too long. Has he got a knife in my back?
No. I didn't even hear what you said.
Oh, good. Like hell. I didn't see any.
That's a nice natural looking color for ice cream.
Isn't it beautiful? That is natural. That is.
Now that would go well in a dipping cabinet.
This is ground up purple yam. I don't use the visual display cabinets. Is that what this is all about?
Yes, yes.
No, I don't use them. I use that thing over there.
Well, dipping cabinets to the whole world means those glass things, sneeze guards.
Not to my customers. Who wants that? You get a bunch of people standing and going, oh, I don't know, maybe I want this one. Oh, maybe I want that one. And then if you start giving free samples, you're dead.
Where have you been?
That's not what I use. I use the floppy door ones, and I put beautiful signs up that says, Jeff says eat this or else.
What do you think about the?
We're not so different.
What do
You're
you
from the
think
east
about
side,
the
I'm
glass
from the
top
west side.
ones with the
Don't
sneeze guard? What do you think about that whole 16 tubs? What do you think of those?
I don't use them
Well, why not?
because people are standing there looking at it all day, and the sun beats down on it and wrecks the ice cream. I use that floppy. Should I bring it out and show everybody?
No. No.
Thank you. I was hoping.
Are you kidding me? I went through all
I
that?
call this the floppy door cabinet because I don't know what its real name is. They cost less. They hold their temperature magnificently, and this is the only way to sell
They're
Italian
pretty
ice.
much Italian ice cabinets.
No, it's an ice cream cabinet. We actually modify it for Italian ice by warming up the thermostat. So a person can be working here, and all the cold stays down in the cabinet. The sun can beat down on it, and it won't matter. You could literally take this lid off for hours, and it isn't going to hurt anything because it's just a small opening. You can come up and see it. And this is just a 2-hole one, which means 2 tubs, double decker, 1 flavor here and 1 flavor here. Then they go 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 16. You can get as big as you want. And they're simple. This one is about 19 years old and running beautifully.
I see that.
What are you going to do, cut the cord?
It's running beautifully.
And it's quiet, too. Super quiet. Oh, there's the Decusson packet.
So did you hear about the ticks that prevent you from eating red meat?
No,
Anybody? No?
no.
Never mind.
Did you hear about the Admiral with only one ear? Can't tell that joke. Jack, I'm going to slip up one day and tell that joke.
What's that?
More ube.
Oh. And then ube syrup.
Yes. I want to get...
The question begs why?
It's very popular on the West Coast in Southern California. And so there are a lot of people buying this. I personally would not have it in my ice cream parlor.
What would you call it?
Ube.
No way.
Yes.
No way. Ube? No
Ube.
way.
That's it. Ube.
No.
And then
You'd have to call it Purple Monster or
they'd call it Ube No Way.
something. Ube no way. No way ube.
Purple Monster would be good.
All the kids would order it and then they'd throw it away.
Yeah. No, they would just walk around with it because of the
You
cool
adding
color.
sugar?
Yeah.
How much?
Give me a cup, please. Oh, you didn't have to do it. I'll do it.
No, sorry.
This is the Ube. UBE. No, it wasn't there. I'm thinking that maybe they meant it was in the entire case package. No.
You want to?
No, it is in there. I feel it.
You want to dissolve this in there?
Sure. How much was that?
Cup.
Okay.
I could add more.
No, it's good. It's one of these delicate flavors.
Subtle. It's a subtle thing. If I could. Do you have anything subtle? It's dessert.
Yeah, I know.
Johnny, what are you doing?
What?
He's
Aren't you paying
reading.
attention here? Dessert. What's it? Where are you from?
Originally,
Ocala.
Taiwan.
Taiwan. What's a real popular dessert in Taiwan?
Ube.
Real popular dessert would be. There's a place. It's
Come back tomorrow when you have an answer. What do the kids want for dessert there? Ice cream, of course, but what flavor?
in Asia they have different, different flavors, like more like fresh fruit, mango, guava.
And the kids clamor for that?
Yeah, they like it.
And if you're walking down the aisle in a supermarket where all the sweets are, what would I find that's not in an American market?
A lot of Asian dessert, you don't
Preserve.
Say preserved candies, or something like dried fruits.
Like those things that are dry with the sugar around it, those watermelon slices, or that's American junk.
Some of them in the jar. They don't have the sugar in the jar, like open it up.
Are you planning on opening in an ethnic neighborhood, a Taiwan neighborhood? No.
I'm doing that market over there, like college, gangster.
Oh, nice. That's a good place. That's a good place. Because whenever I'm out and I see a market that's not an American market, I go right in. Asian, Indonesian, Mexican, Hispanic, I go right in. I walk up the aisles where the sweets are, and I look for something I never saw before, and I buy it.
You ever heard about bubble tea?
Hopa tea? No.
They made up like a small ball, and you can suck it. You know, they use a bigger straw and make a drink with the boba inside. So
Hopa sweet?
Yeah, boba is more like a starch ball.
A starch ball? Ooh, can't wait. That's how I discovered horchata. Anybody horchata? I'm walking in Bravo supermarket, Hispanics, and I see, right, Marilyn? And I see a sign, a bottle of horchata. So I said to this guy walking up the aisle, what is this? And he said, oh. And the directions, you put 2 teaspoons of liquid, you put 2 teaspoons of a glass of water and drink it. So I bought it. I took it home and I opened it up, and as soon as I did this, horchata is rice pudding. And I put some raisins in, I made rice pudding ice cream. You ever go to the liquor store, rum chata? Rum chata? That's rum and horchata. Color's good, right?
Yeah.
Sort of beige. Why didn't you tell me that you were talking about that dipping cabinet, not the ones that everyone in the world uses?
Because I thought you just were generally generalization dipping cabinet.
No, those
so
are...
we agree.
Okay.
Okay.
Man.
All these years. And we never knew. All these years.
All these years, he's been disagreeing with me on dipping cabinets when
Who's
really
went
we
off?
agree. What's the matter?
Somebody's went off.
I just shut the compressor.
Okay.
Single phase.
We build everything in single phase. The bigger machines can be single or 3. You never.
The one
ever,
behind you is 3 phase. No, that one.
Yeah. You never want to buy 3 phase if you can help it, because it isn't available everywhere. The Italians would sell you a 3-phase machine because that's all they build, and then you got to buy a phase converter for $3,000 just to run it, and they only last about 4 years.
A phase converter?
Yes,
That's expensive.
it's that expensive, and the reason they burn out is because we're starting with very little load, and as the ice cream gets thicker, the load goes up. A phase converter was designed for you to turn on a motor that's always running at the same amperage and same torque.
Right.
So there's no load on it, no appreciable load. Water cooled versus air cooled depends really on your location. If you've got water available, go with water cooled. This is only available in air cooled, the CB-350. It's a 2 horsepower compressor, which is not enough to affect this room. That's a total of 6 over there. And that's going to heat this room up 10 degrees if it was air cooled. So water's expensive. Everybody knows that. Sewer's expensive, but it goes up pennies a year. Whereas your electricity bills go up every 4 or 5 months whenever there's a disturbance in the oil prices. So
Okay, it's Butterfinger.
it's going to be a lot cheaper to run it on water cooled.
Even if you're on city sewer,
Come on, Johnny.
Especially.
it would be cheaper on water.
Especially. because your electric cost for getting rid of the heat, your air conditioning bill is going to be huge.
Yeah, Johnny, no dipping. No dipping.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Here.
No, it's my company.
I'm looking at the 350 to purchase, but you just told us that they don't make it in water.
No, we don't.
Okay.
It only comes air cooled because it's not so
So you're saying
big.
it's going to heat up the room? Is that what you're saying?
No, I said this one will.
Oh,
This is
okay,
6
okay,
horsepower.
okay.
This is 2.
Okay.
That's not big enough to heat up the room. You haven't noticed any
No,
appreciable
that's
difference
why
in here.
I was kind of wondering. I was trying to clarify what you were saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me get a container
Looks
over
good. I
here.
hope it is good. I didn't pulverize it.
Maryland's been the official peace festival.
Who? Maryland? Where's Maryland?
That go a little longer. Isn't that beautiful?
That's the other one. That's one I want to get. Colors group one.
Wait till it's finished.
What else?
Isn't that gorgeous?
Butterfinger.
Oh, this is Butterfinger.
It's very pretty.
Very pretty.
Looks like a prom.
It's all natural.
Ooh, Butterfinger. I know.
Butterfinger.
Yeah, we got a winner.
Yeah? Good?
There's some bite to it.
Hey, Jack.
Yes, sir.
Want to
Two
move in on the
ingredients.
CB-350?
Two ingredients.
take the ube
we didn't
out.
even add vanilla.
Here
Two
we go,
ingredients.
folks.
Mixed
If you want to
Butterfinger.
see the ube over
How
here,
simple is that?
watch this.
Hey, Jack. You ought to try some of this. Water.
You got city water and sewer, right?
What?
You have city water and sewer.
That noise
I don't know
is
what
I
that
almost
means.
let it go a little too
Water
long.
From the city, it's not like a well water, right? Like you pay a
I'm
water
not
bill,
sure.
You pay a water bill, or that's included? in
Yeah, I
that?
pay a water bill. Oh, geez.
The difference between Jeff and me is I have people to handle it. That sounds really crass, doesn't it?
I did Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, you did. Did he make you wax his Corvette?
Oh, stop.
Did I make it in class? I give it out to bankers. Be nice to an old Donald Trump adage, be nice to your bankers because nobody else is. So I give it out to my bankers, I give it out to doctors. When you get older, you'll find out. All the doctors make all their appointments for 3 in the afternoon, and there's 20 of you, and they sing "Bring War and Peace." I walk in with a tub of this, spoons and bowls, and they say, "Oh, that's wonderful. We'll give it to the doctor." No, I'll give it to him, and oh, look, it's ice cream. It's melting. I get right in. I always get right in. It's wonderful. It's the best stuff for bribes that you can imagine.
Recipe for Butterfinger.
For what?
The Butterfinger. What was the recipe?
2 ingredients.
Yeah.
Mix. 5,
Anybody wanna
6
try
quarts,
ube?
whatever. And 2.
2 pounds of the Butterfinger.
Real simple, isn't it?
Okay.
No, I didn't add vanilla even.
Try it.
Jeff, do you recommend, so let's say if
Here's
You know
the
why I
spoons.
froze it? So that you taste the pieces in there? That's why I freeze it.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
So you get some pieces. What do you think, Richard? Good?
Want more?
I love this.
Anybody else for the ube?
in the area of the festival.
Little bears?
Fairs.
Fairs.
And
You can do this in Italian ice. You can do it in dairy-free. Just have to add more flavor. Anytime you go from an ice cream to a Italian ice, you're getting flavor from the dairy. So you need
Ube.
more flavor for a sugar water.
1 second, I'll be right there. This is going to be...
Well, you tried it last time. This time I've got a finer. I've got a finer grain of ube.
Perfect.
Have some of that.
Thank you, sir.
I was hoping you weren't coming out for the ube.
Oh,
Come on, give yourself some of this. This is good.
Jack, who signs that check? Oh boy, turncoat. Having sold down the river.
That we have, we were thinking, okay, just make the ice cream. It'd be tough maybe to bring the ice cream over.
No, it isn't.
What would you be like here?
Steve,
You're welcome. Yes.
where are those top hats that keep the ice cream tubs frozen?
I'm out of them.
What happened to them?
We used them all.
They don't use up.
They break up.
Those
eventually.
black things
Black
that you
things.
slip the tub into to
It's
keep.
in the freezer. You can pull it out from there.
Funny.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to see all you adventurous souls trying the ube.
They make these now. They
Can you
freeze
come over
them.
here? They can't see you on camera. You can have space over here. I'll move. It's heavy. There you
You
go.
freeze them, and I get what's in there, like some sort of
Glycol.
gel, glycol.
Yeah.
You freeze them, and then you put the tubs, which fit right in the 3-gallon, right?
Yes, 2.5 or 3.
They fit right in there, and you put these in any kind of cart. Not these, but you know the carts with the umbrella. Get your stuff here, and these fit in there, and they last all. They'll keep it cold all the tub. No, they make carts. No, you can get the refrigerated ones, but then you're connected to the cord all day. But you can get them with plates in them. And the plates freeze and slip, and they keep everything cold all day. $1,500 for a fully equipped cart with the plates. These run about $80, I think. Of course, because talk about profit. So that's the deal on that. What do you think of ube, Johnny? You like the ube? You're insane. You love it? All my opinion just went right down the street. Did you try the ube?
I did. I liked the first initial taste of it, but the aftertaste is not.
That's what I like, yeah.
So you're washing it down with a little Butterfinger, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Ready? Okay.
That's really good.
All right. I wouldn't have.
No.
The package.
No. As soon as you...
It's in the trash.
Hang on.
Right there in the trash. I got it on Amazon.
Randy.
And there's 2 brands.
Randy.
That one.
Vera
That's
just
from
asked
China.
if we would recommend
Excuse me, that's from
pre-packaging the
Japan.
ice cream, pints
And
quart,
the other
right?
one is, I think, from Indonesia.
Right.
And the
How
other
do you
one
answer her?
is too grainy. It's very grainy tasting. This is very smooth.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very smooth.
Very smooth. That's the,
Ingredients,
Italian
nutritional
yeah,
value.
that's the problem I had with the other one.
Sodium.
Is and I can always send it to you. I can pull it off my Amazon file. Just call me another time because it was.
I like the color. Oh,
I love the color, and kids are gonna like it. Like he said, you give it some name like Purple Monster, and kids will never know.
you can name
And
up anything.
yeah, and the parents say, "What is it?" They say, "Well, it's a yam."
Put it up some like a cartoon name, like something cartoon name.
Yeah, and then when the parents find out it's incredibly healthy, they'll love you.
It's all nature ingredients.
That's where the sign came up. Through all that process. So if you say, I want a quart of butter pecan, hand-packed, they hand-pack it when in truth they could have it down in there. And they just take it and give it to you. And then you're fine, hand-packed. You don't need the regulations and the labels on it.
Size machine would you recommend starting out with?
How much money you got?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's say money's not an
No, money's always an issue. No.
He's absolutely right.
Kim, let me ask you a question. Do you want the money in your bank account or do you want the money standing on your floor? That's all it is. You can spend $11,000, $25,000, or keep some money. Your call.
Well, which is less, I mean, if you order. Let's take the money issue out, though, which is the easiest way.
Why don't you just ask me what I use?
Which one do you use?
I use the 24 quart. Don't even think about the 12. Makes no sense. You have two choices, and that's money factor. The two choices are this one or the 24 quart. Eventually, you'll need a 24 quart. There's no question. Eventually, you'll need a 24 quart. The question is, how much money do you have to start with? I started with a 6-quart machine. It was $10,000. Now it's $10,900.
Start with that.
But that served me a year and a half. I worked
Another
longer.
bag, I guess that's
Not harder. I worked longer with this because this is 1/4 the capacity of my current machine. But ultimately, you will have a 24-quart Emery. It's as sure as the sun comes up tomorrow. There's no question about it. You can't run 150 gallons a week on this machine. But certainly you can run 50, 60 gallons a week on that machine. But eventually you'll have a 24. It's the flagship. It's the bomb. And it makes your life, look, your life is two things. Make ice cream, sell ice cream. That's your whole world. Make it, sell it. Make it, sell it. Every day. Make it, sell it. So when you have a 24, the making it, that's on the back burner now. You're home free. Sell it. That's all. Make it, sell it. What?
No, we're just having inter-office jokes.
At my expense.
Not at your expense. No, I tell at your expense. I tell them right in front of you. Hey, where's the?
You took it away. And look at that. You took it away.
Would you mind telling Crystal that this is in the ice cream room? In the kitchen.
I'm going to conclude today. I've made my last ice cream. He probably has too. I'm going to conclude with a little ridiculous talk. Get into the business. You're here, so you have an interest. This will change your life. It's something stupid like ice cream will change your life. It'll change the whole history of your family's life if you do it right. It's yours to screw up. All you got to do is learn how to make the best product you can. Anybody can teach you that. I teach it. I'll have you doing it in one day. One day? Yes. Make the best ice cream in the world. Even those guys make great ice cream now. And then all you have to do is sell it. Selling it is part personality, part business sense, but there's a few rules. There's 10 steps. You do it, you're successful. And that's it. Don't get into debt. That's big rule. Don't get into debt. If you got 15 grand, don't spend 70 on a beautiful shop with nice Formica granite counters and tile floors and beautiful directional lighting and music playing in the background. You can't do that because that 70 grand has to come from somewhere. Do it small. My store started as a back room in a gym, 56 square feet. You know what 56 square feet is? Right here is 56 square feet. My sink, 9 inches, 9-inch sink. That's what I started with. And, you know, it's easy. I mean, I'm no rocket scientist. I can do this. And I teach it every other month how to do this. It's simple. All you need is a batch freezer, and you might as well get the good one because you're going to need it. That doesn't mean the big one.
And a book. A batch freezer and a book.
Well, that's true, isn't it? A batch freezer and a book. Yeah, actually, these 25 recipes, you can use that for the rest of your life and nothing else. But you won't, because a big part of this business is the art. You're going to be an artist, an ice cream artist. You'll be part chemist and part artist. But it's great. I mean, give your kids a place to work. You want to retire. It's just great. Can't beat it.
If you want to retire and go into the ice cream business, don't. It's a lot of hours of work.
It's not hard work.
You just shifted. You didn't retire. You just shifted from one job to another.
Well, I believe it or not, people ask what I do. I say I'm retired. I make ice cream because it's fun. You know the expression?
It is fun.
The expression, find something you love to do and you'll never work a day in your life.
Oh, that's me.
That's
Except my
so
father
true.
called me a bum.
It's so true, though, isn't it?
Yes, it
I mean,
is.
I go in at night, and there's 150 people sitting around, music's playing, people are laughing, they're having a great time, and you're the king. You know, you walk in, and it all becomes, there's the owner.
Yeah.
It's great.
Just curious, how many employees do you have?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What?
Ice cream, that's a big.
It is? Yeah, but 4 of them, 2 of them work once a month.
Yeah, they're part-time.
The other 2 work 2 days a week.
Oh, it's all part-time.
It's all part-time.
Yeah, and now I'm only open 24 hours a week. You sleep more than that. You sleep more than I'm open. 24 hours a week.
So you open only weekend
No, only nights.
or nighttime?
6 nights a week. From 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. That's it. Why? Why am I only open 4 hours a night, 6 nights a week?
You don't have children.
I don't like kids. There, I said it.
It's taken years to get this
I don't
out.
like kids.
Don't you feel better?
I
Don't
do.
you feel
I feel
opened up
cleansed.
now?
Yeah.
It was the ube and the avocado
You're right.
that did it to
You're
you.
right. I feel cleansed. I can walk out of here, my chest out, my head held high. It's like convincing your therapist you're okay. Yes, I don't like kids. Now, you want to hear something else, Johnny? We don't have any cones. We don't have to repeat all this. I'm going to tell you. We don't have any cones. We don't make any sundaes. We don't give samples. You can't mix flavors. And you get everything in a little cup with a spoon. We don't take credit cards. End of story.
What is, you don't mind I ask you, what is your product? Just ice cream or Italian ice?
Ice cream.
Ice cream?
Ice cream. No hot dogs, no French fries, no brownies, no nuts, no nothing. Ice cream.
Ice cream chocolate.
Milkshakes, we make milkshakes. Yeah, incredible milkshakes. And everything is $6.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Tax, it's in there already.
Oh, it's included.
This is a very simple business, Johnny. Very simple. Very easy. Don't screw it up. It's very easy.
Everybody can do it. Go there and
Even you can do it.
follow the rules and recipes.
That's it. I'm telling you. Get $15,000 together. You can open your door next week. Yeah. Yeah, as long as he's got the machine, and you can get one out of him.
I already paid.
You can rush his production up a little.
How many ice cream do you sell a night?
No, Sammy.
We see 200 customers a night.
You can't have that.
Oh, now you're
Go see
counting
those
my
people
money, huh?
back there. Go see those people back there.
$6, 200 customers, 6 nights a week, 4 weeks a month, 300 days a year. Holy cow. It's simple business. Huh? Location? I don't think I have enough time here. Location, you can't see my store from the street because it's pitch black. I'm in a center with nothing else. No stores are open. There's a real estate office, a consignment store, and they're both dead, and an office store. And that's it. And me. And you can't see me from the road. It's pitch black. And there's no traffic there.
That $15,000, does it include
Yes, yes. I told you, 15,000, and you can open your door next week, and you can make money by that night. That's why I'm on this earth, to get that done. And I promise you this too. I promise you. Am I lying? I'm not lying.
Delusional, but not lying.
No, I'm a dreamer.
Yes, you're our dream.
But it works. It works. You know it works. When I first met you, I had a little old beat-up truck and nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Friday, we go to close on our beach house.
Oh, gee.
in Daytona Beach.
Where's my cut? Oh, this is it. I'm going to give you a tour of the factory if you'd like now. Any other last-minute questions? Well, thank you all for coming. You were a great audience. You really were. You were good people.
It was a good audience.
Yeah, we rate you, and you're up there. You're up there with that class of 13. They were amazing.
Well, they were the class by themselves.
Yeah, they were, but these guys were awfully good. So let me, Sammy, come on, girl. Let me get Sammy sequestered.
I'm leaving.
Oh, all right.
I gotta run back.
Bob, good to see you.
Bob, I'll email you.
Sounds good.
And
I'll
sweetie.
I'll see you.
See you on the beach.
Yeah, I should be in class in October unless I can do something sooner.
Okay.
I need to do something sooner.
Okay.
Okay, but we'll talk.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Come on, we're going.
Come on, sweetie.
We're going. I know.
How's
All
things
right,
in the back?
Follow you.
What's on?